chance to stop the Meadowlands for some football. That's right, opening weekend of the XFL on Fox. Yesterday was a good start, but now it comes to the Meadowlands. The Guardians fans are ready to go. Guardians, Vipers, coming your way next.
Vipers in town, New York. That's how we coming all day. XFL, let's go.
I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared.
We on a mission, dog. Fight down on 3. Let's go. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Fight down. But as long as you don't question yourself, you don't doubt yourself, you don't question your teammates, you never stop believing in yourself and each other. You know what? Our competitive toughness is going to take us to win today. I have no doubt. If I could do one thing, you know what I'd do? I'd give you the win. I'd give you a gift. I'd love to do it. I can't. You guys got to go get it. Go get it. Yes, sir.
In this league, it's about making the most of each opportunity. Today, 2 teams will get that chance to showcase their talents, prove their worth.
Absolutely sensational.
And reclaim their glory between the white lines.
So fast and explosive.
This is the XFL.
Oh, my goodness!
Tampa Bay Vipers, New York Guardians. Next on Fox.
It's the XFL on Fox here in the Meadowlands. The opening game for these two franchises, the Tampa Bay Vipers and the New York Guardians. Excitement in the air. Can't wait. Glad to have you aboard. Here in the broadcast booth, here's my partner, 3-time Pro Bowl tight end Greg Olson, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So it's the opening weekend, a good start for the league yesterday, Greg, and just good feelings about this game and these players in it today.
Yeah, I mean, there's one common theme to anybody you talk surrounding this league, and they just talk about what an opportunity this is. The players, the coaches, the executives, anybody associated with the league, they're so thankful for this opportunity to be a part of this game. The XFL has given them an incredible platform to continue to pursue this dream of theirs, and today's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have some familiar names as well, and especially with local ties. You show out there in the beginning. Here, the New York Guardians, their head coach is a guy the Giants fans very familiar with, Kevin Gilbride. Matter of fact, last time he was a coach was here as the offensive coordinator for the Giants in 2013.
Yeah, the one thing the XFL has done a great job of, they've gotten the process of hiring these head coaches. They've got that down. I mean, Kevin Gilbride, right here in New York, over 20-plus years of NFL coaching experience, and his best years were here with the Giants, leading them to those 2 Super Bowls. He's the right guy to lead this New York team. He understands what it takes to build an organization, and he's an impressive guy from talking to him.
Yeah, and again, another name you recognize if you're an NFL fan is the quarterback, Mr. McGloin. Matt McGloin played for the Raiders, and he got some time, got some success in the league.
Yeah, talking with Kevin Gilbride this week, he made it really clear that Matt McGloin, when they listed all the quarterbacks they wanted to lead this organization in their inaugural season, Matt McGloin was at the top of that list. His leadership, his NFL experience, his maturity was all the things they were looking to be the leader, the quarterback of this Guardians organization, and he's been everything they've wanted him to be, plus some.
Meanwhile, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Vipers, Mark Trestman, he has been around this game for a long, long time. Most probably remember him as the former head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, real interesting guy, real diverse background in the coaching world, some CFL experience, some NFL experience like you mentioned with the Bears. He's trying to find a way to blend all of those past places and bring it all here together, play by these XFL rules, and see if he can cultivate this offense to be the way he wants it to be, but fit within the framework of this league.
And their quarterback's a guy you probably know if you're a football fan as well. Again, a local kid, Aaron Murray, playing high school in Tampa Bay and then was tremendous at the University of Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're the all-time leading passer in SEC history with the all-time greats that league has produced, he's special. He blew us away yesterday in our production meeting. His knowledge, everything Trestman said about buying in and being the guy to lead this team, he's been that for them, and I'm excited to see him now put it all together and kind of get back on this right path in his pro career.
Third member of our broadcast crew is Jenny Taft this afternoon, and she's got both starting quarterbacks. How about this? At midfield, Jenny, take it away.
All right, I'm very happy to be alongside two QBs. We're going to be hearing plenty from today. New York's Matt McGloin and Aaron Murray from Tampa. And Matt, I want to start by asking you, a couple times when you were talking about coming back to the XFL, you mentioned the timing being perfect. Why?
Yeah, it's just an exciting opportunity. You know, growing up less than 2 hours from this stadium, having family and friends here to support not much myself but our team, this organization every single week is really important to me. So that's something I'm really looking forward to today. A lot of emotions today, and then seeing my family in the stands doesn't get better than that.
I know for you, Aaron, when we chatted yesterday, you mentioned the nerves, the excitement. How are you feeling minutes away from the start of this thing?
I think a lot of excitement. Our football team's worked really hard going back to December, training camp and then mini camp there in Houston, and we're just excited to play someone else. You know, hit someone else on a different color jersey, so I know they're feeling the same way right now. It was a great day of football yesterday, and we're hoping for the same thing today.
Okay, good luck today, guys. Kevin, we're going to see and hear from a lot of these guys today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Jenny, and that's one of the cool things about this league. The access we will have for you today is just sensational, and also the weather today is sensational. You normally here in the Northeast, you get February, you get cold and winds. 41 is not bad, mostly cloudy day and some winds, but it shouldn't be too much of a factor in today's game. How about the Vipers in this Week 1 matchup? They are favorites by 3.5 over the Guardians. Over under for this game 52.5, and those odds are provided today by Fox Bet. If you'd like to get in on the action, there are some new rules, some different rules in this league, Greg. One of them is the opening kickoff, and you just see visually it's a little different, but it provides a couple different things: safety and hopefully excitement on some returns.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into how they were going to keep this play in the game. It's widely regarded as one of the more exciting plays, the opportunity to have someone take it back 100+ yards. Other levels of football have kind of gotten away from it. The XFL, they wanted to keep this game while also keeping in mind the safety of the players, and they feel like this is a great.
And how about this? Austin Duke got a big return early, all the way to midfield, and what a start for the Guardians.
Love to see that. That's my guy. I told you, Kevin, coming in, that's my guy. Played with him a little while with the Panthers, local Charlotte kid, college teammate of my brother. What a great start for my guy, Austin Duke.
And here is Matt McGloin. Well, you heard it. He told Jenny, you know, exciting for him. He's got some people here. He grew up just a couple hours away in Pennsylvania, a walk-on in Penn State, and then had a terrific career there. And again, played in the league, 7 career starts with the Oakland Raiders, and now here he is, the veteran of this group, and getting going with Tim Cook in the backfield on the RPO. They swing it and have a completion, and there's the tight end from Monmouth down the Jersey Shore, Jake Powell. I know, Greg, you're big on him today.
2 Jersey guys here in the booth, Kev, and we've been talking all week about Powell and Gilbride and McGloin. They just rave about his potential. And you saw there, Kev, you know, Gilbride had the sense that he didn't really have a great background in the RPO. You mentioned you saw it there. You know, he brought in some guys to help call these plays, and he had the awareness to understand that maybe his style of play calling wouldn't translate to this up-tempo XFL style, and we saw it on the first play.
Second down, McGloin faces some pressure and gets out in the flat, but a good tackle as Cook made the catch. But there is the hard-hitting safety, Robert Priester, on the hit.
When we met with Glanville yesterday, he couldn't say enough good things about his safety group. He says, I got 6 safeties that can all play. 3 of them will be in the game at all time. And Priester was a guy that he really identified as somebody on that back end that could do a lot of different things for him. And so far, he's getting in the action.
Go. Lane 45, lane 45.
Brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Guardians on the opening drive of the game. They go with the eye, they'll run it to Cook, gets his first carry, and he is not going to get anywhere in the middle of that Vipers defense. It'll bring up 4th down, and the idea we get, again, we'll tell you some of these rules, the differences in this league as the game goes on, but you feel like 4th down is going to be going for a territory most of the way here.
Yeah, and we'll get into the new rules as the game unfolds with the punt and the major touchbacks and whatnot, but I think with these rules, you're going to see most of the game is going to happen here between the 30s. There's going to be 4th down, attempts, 4th down conversions. You see here on the opening drive of the season, the Guardians going for it on 4th and short.
Here is McGloin. Blitz coming. Picked up. McGloin stands in. Fires. He's got a first down. It is Powell. The kid from Monmouth making his impact early, and I know my Pro Bowl tight end is excited about it.
Hey, when all else fails, you need a big completion. You see here, you got Powell lined up here. He's literally just going to cross the safety's face. Big body, big target. McGloin's on time and hits him. Great job here. You see him setting him up with his leverage. He's going to cross face. It's a big body in the middle of the field. Critical first fourth down conversion of the season, and he's gotten off to a great start, our Jersey tight end.
Meanwhile, 2 running backs in the game now for the Guardians for the first time. We see Darius Victor, number 27. Interesting story out of Townsend on a first down. McGloin off to a good start. Here is Victor getting the carry, and not much there. Greg, one of those things you see about Victor, you talked earlier about the great stories in this league. You want to talk about a guy that's been through a lot to get here. Victor is that guy. Yeah, this league is full of stories, but maybe none better than Victor's story. Ivory Coast refugee, got his chance at Towson, rushed 41 career touchdowns in Towson, one of the all-time prolific players in that program's history. And to see him continue to get his shot here to play pro ball, you just can't help root for guys like him. And there's other stories throughout the league that are going to unfold as the season goes on.
453 down, Mike 41, go to 45, 10. 180.
On second down, pressure. McGloin hit as he throws, going end zone, incomplete. He tried to get it to Joe Horn, and if that name sounds familiar, because it is the son of Joe Horn, the former Saints wide receiver. Couple things in this league. There is an individual ball spotter. That's him. He's not an official. His one job to spot the ball, because the play clock in this league is only 25 seconds. Now remember, in the NFL, it's 40. That's a pretty big difference, Greg. It's a huge difference, and we touched on the first play with the RPO. Kevin Gilbride told us on our production call, in his past, especially with Eli Manning and his time in the league, everything he did was 2 plays, check at the line. He didn't think they had enough time in the play clock to implement that. Brought in some guys with some RPO, more college, fast, up-tempo experience, and you're kind of seeing that play out in this first drive. Third down, McGloin going near side, and it's caught. Beauty of a throw, and there is the first catch for Joe Horn, delivering, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Joe Horn was a guy that everybody talked about. The one concern with him is he was kind of late to camp. He was late joining this Guardians team, and their big concern, he can do everything physically. Does he understand our offense? And first series of the game, he's got 2 targets and a big first down conversion there. And McGloin's off to a good start, 4 of 5 for 39 yards. And a 1st and goal for the Guardians on the opening drive of the game in this first quarter. They got Mikhail McKay to the far side of the screen, and now we get a flag, so hang on. I was going to say McKay is a huge target.
There were 12 people in the offense which broke the huddle. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Our referee today of Jeff Heiser, making that call there on the first penalty of the game. And that'll move him back to the 11 on a 1st and goal. And so McGloin and company will try again. We're just going to point out Mikhail McKay, who is, they're really high on him, Greg. He missed most of their camp with an ankle injury. He's 6'5", 200 pounds, top of your screen, big target. And they like his ability. 1st and goal. Blitz coming again. McGloin stands in. Back foot throw incomplete. But a penalty flag. He was going for Horn again. And we'll see what the flag is. Coverage by Micah Hanneman on the play.
Yo, he come over top here. What happened?
Pass interference. Defense. The foul took place in the end zone. Therefore, the ball be placed at the 1-yard line. 1st down.
Yeah, you see Horn, he lines up here in the slot, and he's just going to try to cross leverage of this defender here, and the guy just grabs him. He knows he's beat. He pulls him with his left hand. Easy call for the official. Now, this sets up 1st and goal here from the 1. As the game progresses, inside the 10-yard line, got to have a lot of options. You got your extra point opportunities that we're going to talk about. This inside the 10, teams are really going to have a big part of their game plan address this area, because it's going to come up a lot. Bring on E.J. Bibbs as a fullback. Guardian surging forward. It's a touchdown. Lucky souvenir up there. He just threw that ball about 40 rows deep into the bleachers. What a start on the opening drive, and Matt McGloin takes it in himself, and the first touchdown in Guardians history. Well, first play inside the 1, just a simple quarterback sneak. You kind of saw, it seemed like the Vipers were kind of light in the line there. Didn't have anybody really over the left guard. McGloin just followed his offensive lineman. That's about as easy as it gets.
All right, Greg, in this league, there are no extra points. So you've got choices here. You can either go from the 2, the 5, or the 10. They're going from the 2. This will be a 1-point try. They will pitch it to Cook, looking for the extra point. He's in. It's 7-0 New York.
It's going to be interesting to see as the season and as the games progress how teams handle the point after try. You saw on the first touchdown of this game, the Guardians played it safe, went for 1. I think as the game goes on, there's going to be some strategies, some analytics that are going to play into those decisions.
So the Guardians go right down the field on their opening possession. 8 plays, 48 yards, and Matt McGloin punches it in front of his friends. 7-0 New York.
I remember hitting them.
And so the Guardians go right down the field in the opening drive. Matt McGloin scored a touchdown. Why don't we hear from him now with Jenny Taft?
All right, Matt, first touchdown of the game, first drive. You go for it on 4th down. How aggressive is this offense going to be today?
Well, that's about exciting as it gets right there to start your home opener, right? But I mean, that's what we're all about. Coach Gilbride, that's what he's made his living off of for so long, and it's such a successful career. And then GA and everybody else here really contributing. But we've got a lot of playmakers, and it's going to make for an exciting day.
All right, looking forward to it. I'll let you get back to work. Kevin, back to you.
Jenny, love the access. I mean, it's so great. Just scores a touchdown, then 2 seconds later we get to talk to him about it.
It's awesome insight. I mean, to see the raw emotion, to see the excitement, you can tell there was a little, nerves anytime you have your opening drive of the game, and you can just see McGloin's kind of relieved.
Everyone has to wait until this is caught, and now it is by Matt Brown, looking for a big return from the Vipers side, and he's got a good one across the 30-35, and so we're seeing the return game here with these new kickoff rules, and we'll continue to see that throughout the game. So here is Aaron Murray. Greg talked about it earlier, broke all kinds of SEC records. 29 years old now, from Tampa Bay, Florida. Went to Plant High School, was a terrific quarterback there, and then at Georgia, where he was just sensational in his career. And of course, played in the NFL. 5th-round pick by the Kansas City Chiefs. Had some time around the league, did not actually get in a game and throw a pass in the regular season. Now here he is, leading the Vipers in their opening possession of their history. Davion Smith in the backfield out of Michigan, and Smith gets absolutely nowhere. TJ Barnes, the big old defensive tackle, was there on the stop. And so we look at this Vipers offense behind Mark Trestman. One thing that stands out, their receivers are all about 7'6". I'm exaggerating, but they have enormous receivers.
They got some big bodies, and I don't think that's by accident. When we saw Trestman yesterday, both him and Aaron Murray, unsolicited, brought up names like Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. Of course, they went all the way back to Trestman's early career with Jerry Rice. I mean, the receiver position plays a huge role in this offense, and they're trying to replicate that here with this Viper squad. 2nd down, Murray's got a completion to the tight end, Truesdell, who's out. He's got a 9-yard gain. The former wide receiver, another one of those guys. This is quite an interesting story in the journey to get here, but they love his talent. I mean, here's a kid who's played in the indoor football league, the arena football league. He never let that dream of playing professional football ever die. Had some bad luck early with injuries and transfer. And again, a kid that when he went to college in 2008, he started this journey 12 years ago, and here he is finally getting his chance. And you can't help but root for guys like him. They all rave about his ability, his athleticism. He's a guy to keep an eye on today. And quickly on the 1st down, as we talk about Truesdell, so the Vipers continue. Quinn Flowers has just checked into game number 9. He is a fascinating guy, and he's at quarterback right now. Set records at South Florida. Let's see what he can do. They'll just hand it off here, and Davion Smith with a big hole, and then he fumbles the football, and Tampa Bay picks it up. Gerald Foster, the left guard, was there to save him as Dooley forced the fumble. People can't stop talking, though, about Flowers. His change of pace, I think they're going to use him at running back, even wide receiver, a little some. There you saw him playing quarterback, a little of the zone read stuff. He's a great change of pace guy that they can play, a little bit like the Taysom Hill down there that we all saw have such a big role down in New Orleans. I think as the game goes on, he's going to continue to find himself reps in this game. Jacquez Patrick in the game at running back for the first time out of Florida State. As they fake it to him, Murray, pressure in his face, throws, he's got a completion. Daniel Williams
Williams, another one of those big wide receivers, hold on after the big hit. He's 6'2", 215 himself.
It's going to be a hard play action. You're going to see Williams here on the left. He's just going to run what they call a short 8. He's going to hit his third outside step and just run a slant. The hard under center play action pulls the linebackers up. And Williams is a guy, every time you bring him up, he was the surprise of camp. He was the guy that nobody really anticipating having much of a role. He just forced his way into this offense with his work ethic, and he's a guy everybody raves about.
Here's Tolliver, makes the catch, and he's hit immediately by Bryce Jones, the cornerback. And he's going to lose 1.5 yards on that play. As we take a look at this defense led by Jim Herman for the Guardians, they've got some big guys inside. That's what Herman stressed. Barnes, Mbu, guys like that. Heaney's a former NFLer, played with the Raiders. Might remember that name at middle linebacker leading this team.
Yeah, Herman, he raved about that inside core D-line group. He said they're all NFL-style players, NFL guys that he's used to coaching at the NFL level, and he couldn't say enough good things about that group when we met with him.
Now Murray had his tight end Thompson in the flat, just missed him, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
We touched on Williams before. I thought it was really interesting. Aaron Murray telling us the story about him moving to Atlanta, wanted to spend some time with him, preparing for this season. You know, you can't help but just love guys who just they've never left that dream. They've never stopped that chase.
Great. These fans are fired up.
Fired up. We got some crowd noise. We got some energy in here.
Got a big 3rd down and 12 coming up.
Looks like they're confused. Yeah, they're going to take a timeout. They couldn't get lined up. You saw Murray out at the top of the screen.
Tampa Bay, their first timeout.
Play clock was winding down on a 3rd and 12. First time out of the half. So Tampa Bay on the move, but it's the Guardians in front, 7-zip. 7-0 Guardians here in the first quarter. 3rd and 12 for Tampa Bay with Murray in the shotgun. Blitz coming, delayed, picked up Murray over the middle. He's got a completion. It is caught inside the 10 by Reese Horn, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Boy, did Murray fit that in a tight window.
That's the kind of throw that everybody talks about with Aaron Murray. On time and rhythm. You see Reese Horn just running a square in route there. But I mean, that's a tight window. That's an NFL caliber throw right there. I mean, look at this. Got a nice picture of the ball with the markings on it. He was worried yesterday. He said if you throw a duck, everybody on TV can see it. But Aaron should be very happy. The ball looked good. Threw a nice tight spiral. Good play there by the whole by Murray and Reese. That was a good play.
Davion Smith back in and running back on a 1st and goal on the fake. Murray in some trouble. Is going to float it to the corner of the end zone. It is knocked away. It is intercepted. Is it? It is. It's picked off by New York.
Play before was so great. Then he comes back and he gives it to him.
Andrew Soro was the man who came up with it in the pile at the end.
He's down there, first down. You just made a great 3rd down conversion. You can see he's got pressure off the front side here, and he starts fading back. He tries to give his big tight end a chance. He just doesn't get it out there. If you're going to make that throw and you're trying to give Truesdell a chance at that ball's either got to be out the back of the end zone or it's only where your guy can get it. And you see Soro comes up with the deflected pass. That's a ball that Murray's going to want back. 1st down, you don't need to get it all on one play. Big stop there by the Guardians.
You see Dewan Hines say no, no, no. He was the one that kind of played volleyball on that one, and then Soro was able to get the deflection before it hit the ground, and so a promising drive comes up empty, and New York will take over on their own 20. 5:01 to go in this first quarter. McGloin had a good start on the opening drive. It was 405 for 39 yards and the touchdown run. On the fake, looking to throw here, looking to throw deep here. He's got a man, and it is incomplete. It kind of hung up there. It was going for Pearson, and Anthula Kelly, it almost was on his shoulder for a moment, and it falls to the ground.
Yeah, again, this is another RPO action. You see here, he has Kelly beat. And he just doesn't get the ball out. We saw a little bit of that when we went and watched him play in a scrimmage earlier in the offseason process. He's just got to get that ball out there where only his guy, where Colby Pearson can run and go get it. Kelly was beat, did a good job locating the ball. But again, you've seen both quarterbacks have their moments. That's got to be a completion.
On second down, they will run it here and run it indeed to Victor. First down and then some. Darius Victor. Good hard running for him, and he picks up 22.
See here, he just running the zone, just a play off to the left side, a little inside zone. Victor's a guy, he's a big body. Kevin Gilbride compared him to a Brandon Jacobs from his time here with the Giants, kind of a big body downhill thumper. Just an easy weak side zone play there. And this Vipers pass rush that really wants to get up the field and get after you. You know, they're going to have to make sure they defend this run on this Guardians team. Gilbride is going to test them. You see him here with 2 tight ends under center. They're going to test them in the run game today.
Pressure right up the middle. McGloin on the rollout. Pressured again, and then coming near side and incomplete. Probably better off. So this Vipers defense is led by Jerry Glanville, now 78 years old. Of course, you probably know him from some avenue of football, the head coach of those good Oiler teams and Falcons teams back in the day. He's been coaching forever, former NASCAR driver, broadcaster. He's done it all, and well, we had a lot of fun with him for about an hour yesterday, just talking football and everything else.
I didn't think the meeting was ever going to end. I'll tell you, though, I haven't had that much fun sitting around and hearing stories and listening to Jerry Glanville talk about his philosophy of defense. And, oh, man, he can share a story. And he brought up names from Elvis to Bud Adams, and he had it all covered. That was a fascinating insight into his mind. You know, he's lived a full life, and he's forgotten more football than a lot of us have ever known.
You talked about Elvis. He was famous for years. He would leave tickets for Elvis, right? He would leave tickets at the Wilco window for Elvis. So we asked him, is he still doing that? He said this time he brought that. He has him with him.
He's got lines for days. I mean, he's the one who kind of coined the not for long, NFL not for long, that is used so frequently in today's world.
Third down, McGloin, back foot throw, going deep again, jumping grab as he inbounds. You only need 1 foot in this league, and he did not get any. So they're trying to get it to T.O. Redding, who made a great try, but it's incomplete.
Great job here by Kelly. You see him use his hands and his body. He doesn't let the receiver ever stack. So what that means is the receiver is taught on those outside routes to stack the DB, to give the quarterback space to throw the ball to the outside. You see him running with his hands, compete, and just finish the play and just drive him out of bounds. That's a good job trusting his technique there by Kelly. We saw 2 nice pass breakups on that possession there by Kelly. That was an area that Glanville felt a little unsure about, the depth of his corners, and so far Kelly's held up pretty well.
Vogel will punt it away. Reese Horn back to receive. And a fair catch called for inside the 20 and taken at the 18-yard line. Well, it's interesting that this is the first game for these two franchises in the XFL. We showed you Glanville, the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, Gilbride, the head coach of the New York Guardians. Glanville gave Kevin Gilbride his NFL break. He hired him in '89 with the Oilers.
And when he took us through that hiring process, talking about, you know, Steve Mariucci, he interviewed Tom Coughlin. He said all these were unknown guys. He ended up hiring Kevin Gilbride, gave him his first start in the league. It's cool to see these two guys catch up all these years later on the debut season of the XFL.
And so here is Tampa Bay, that promising drive, and then intercepted in the end zone. They're going to run it, and power run indeed, and they get a first down with Davion Smith, who rolls it to the outside. Went to Michigan, 25 years old, got some time in the league, actually with the Dolphins a couple years ago. Also had time with the Redskins in the preseason 2 years ago, and then was in the AAF last year.
Bad Floyd.
And now here he is, the starting running back for the Vipers. Picks up a first down. And we get a penalty flag.
False start, offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's on Nick Truesdell, the tight end. Fascinating, Greg, in that these two teams they played a practice game where there was no tackling. They played a scrimmage against each other. But, you know, coming into this week, you know, there wasn't a ton of time for these teams to practice and rep. Not like you're used to in the NFL when you're getting together so early in the summer. And so it was interesting to see how these offenses would show today.
Yeah, Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator of the Guardians, he said he went back as far back as watching Steve Young footage of Mark Trestman early in his career with the 49ers.
Ball is popped loose. It's on the ground. Guardians say they have it.
Didn't look to me like he caught it, Kev. I'd be interested to see that again.
It was a bang play for sure. Ben Heaney was the guy on the hit, I believe.
I think they're giving it to him.
Let's see.
It looked to me incomplete. It never looked like he caught it. It's really close. It's close.
Well, you know, this is, for the most part, the rule book of this league is based on the NFL. There are some changes and adaptations, some differences. You know, in this, the one thing is college, you have one foot in as a catch.
Stop the game, stop the game, stop the game.
Is under further review.
All right, so Robert Liu is our replay official. One of the all-access points is we can listen in. Let's do it.
The field is a completed catch and a fumble.
Okay.
Is that your ruling? Is that the ruling on the field?
The ruling on the field is a completed catch, fumbled by the receivers. New York picked up the fumble, recovered in advance. First down, New York.
Okay. We have a good view here. When he landed on the ground, he only had 1 foot down. The ball was jarred loose, so it's going to be an incomplete pass. We're going to change it to an incomplete pass.
So give me down and distance on the previous play.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Should be second and 15, right?
25-yard line.
Should be second and 15, correct?
Second and 15.
All right.
Okay.
I will make the announcement.
And the clock. Hold on.
So, Greg, A, you were right, and B, this is a really cool insight on the interaction back and forth between our replay official and our referee down on the field. And as you said, never really completed the process of the catch, and so it's just an incomplete pass. And we'll hear the official announcement, I think, in a moment.
But after further review, the receiver did not complete the process of the catch. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It will be second down and 15. Please reset the game clock to 1:05. 1:05.
Yeah, I think to your point, Kev, so often, you know, people are used to seeing plays challenged, confirmed, overruled. I think it's just great insight to see how much thought and communication between the replay official and the officials on the field really goes into ensuring that these calls are made and with the right result.
Second down and long now after the reversal. And here is Murray being pressured and just throws it away. He had to get rid of that one. Savon Walker was in hot pursuit, and now a third down and long coming up with 50 seconds to go in this first quarter.
You know, we were talking before what Herman was talking about, the D coordinator of the Guardians. Just to finish that thought, they were going back to 49ers film of Steve Young and Jerry Rice and back to Chicago, and they said, all right, guys, here's the plays they've ran against us in these scrimmages, but here's the next level, the layer that they're going to add to those plays we've seen, and be prepared to handle that. I just thought that was a really interesting concept. They really have to defend this entire playbook because they don't really have anything else to go off of.
Third and long. Four-man rush. Murray flushed out of the pocket, looking, throwing on the run, incomplete. Didn't really have to run out of the pocket that time, but chose to. And now we're fourth down and long, and we're going to get a punt.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think Murray, if he just stands here in the pocket, you know, I think they got great protection. He kind of rolls and now cuts the field in half. So what happens is all these receivers, they have their original route. They go into scramble drill, and they're trying to come back, but for the quarterback, there's just not a lot of room to throw that ball. He's got to sit in the pocket there and deliver that ball on time.
And so the Vipers will punt, but first we've reached the end of the first quarter here, the inaugural weekend of the XFL on Fox. The Guardians and Matt McGloin scoring on their opening drive. They've got a 7-0 lead after one. It's the XFL on Fox opening weekend. Glad you're with us. Along with Jenny Taft, Greg Olson, I'm Kevin Burkhardt, our entire XFL on Fox crew. And a good start. The New York Guardians have a 7-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Vipers. Tampa Bay in green, and they will punt it away now on a 4th and long. Jake Shum back to punt it and gets it off. Boston Duke had a big return to start this game on a kick. This on a punt. Runs into his own man and not much doing there. And why don't we take a look now, some of that all-access. Cornerback Jamar Summers for the Guardians, mic'd up.
Let's go! Turn me up! Turn me up! Hey, who got two? Who was supposed to have two on that last one? I see you pointing me out. Don't come out here. Don't come out here. I think you about to pull? I see you pointing me out, man. I'm a $190, baby.
He doesn't want any part of that pull block.
Love it.
He's got a 100-pound difference there. Jamar Summers from Orange, New Jersey, another one of the local guys. McGloin with a floater, far side of the field, incomplete. Try to get it to McKay. And pretty good coverage there by Anthula Kelly, who's played a nice game so far.
That's his third pass breakup. They've come out and they've made it a point to challenge Kelly out there. At the last possession, he had two nice plays, and there you see him there against McKay, holding up well. They got to get McKay going. He's a guy they've talked about. He's super talented, coming off that injury. They got to find a way to get the ball in his hands and get him rolling a little bit here.
So both quarterbacks started out pretty well, but both are slumping now. McGloin and Murray, both one of their last 6 throwing the football. Throw it again. 4-man rush, some pressure, steps away, going deep. He's got a man, McKay. He's got diving inside the 15. There's your guy, Greg Olsen. What a beauty of a play. And the bomb goes for 45.
Well, there you go. I mean, you see McKay. He's their most talented guy on the outside. And here he just gets on top of the corner. You see him. He runs right by Lewis. McGloin buys some time and delivers it. McKay is a guy that he missed all of training camp, coming off that injury, and he's just kind of finding his legs, just getting them underneath him. And you can see the talent that everybody in that Guardians organization just raves about. And right on cue, they tried to get him on first down, and they came back and hit him on second.
It's almost like you play this game for a living and know what's about to come.
I've seen it a few times.
So McGloin hitting for the 45-yarder. And a 1st and 10 from the 12. Blitz coming. McGloin sees it, floats it, got a man, and it's a touchdown. Colby Pearson for 6.
Great job by McGloin here. You're going to see they bring the free safety down to the side of Pearson. Right, so you see this guy here. He starts walking up. McGloin sees it, and he knows with this safety in the middle of the field, this whole side of the field now is for Pearson to operate. That's great pre-snap read by McGloin. We talked about at the top of the show his experience, his leadership, his ability to see things, all played off there. One simple pre-snap read allowed him to identify the one-on-one coverage, and Pearson ran a great route.
And they will go from the 2-yard line, which is a 1-point attempt. There are no extra points in this league. They just hand it off right up the gut, flying into the air for the extra point conversion is Tim Cook, and it's 14-zip New York.
We've seen both teams just pretty much just kind of run it right at him on the I mean, they're just running inside runs right at him. Cook's a big body. We saw the Vipers do the first thing on their extra point. They tossed the ball. I want to see somebody change it up a little bit, though. Go for 2, go for 3. I think the easy route is to just continue to play for the 1. I think as the game goes on, get an insight into what some of their strategy looks like.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, it's 1 point if you go for it from the 2. It's 2 points if you try the conversion from the 5-yard line. And then if you go from the 10-yard line, it's 3 points. We both don't really expect to see that until late. If you're trailing big, it's an easy way to get back in the game. But certainly think that you'd see more 2-point attempts as this thing goes on from the 5 with a decent percentage. But the bottom line is it's 14-0 New York. The big play there, the 45-yard hookup to Mikhail McKay on the diving catch that set it up. And then McGloin, who's got a touchdown run and a touchdown pass today. And it's 14-0, and Tampa Bay has some work to do early in the second quarter. And we'll get the kickoff again. You have to get it inside the 20, but you don't want to kick it out of bounds. You don't want to kick it short of the 20 or into the end zone. You get penalized for all of that. So this time, executed beautifully. Matt Brown is out to the 25. Let's go down to Jenny Taft.
All right, Mikhail, it started with you, and I know you missed preseason with an injury. So to get back out here, make that catch for Matt, how good did it feel?
Oh, it felt amazing. First of all, giving honor to God. He's the ones who got me here, so I'm here to make plays, and that's what we're going to do.
You started it, and this guy finished it. Colby, that one was all about you. Just take me through exactly what you saw in that play and getting it done, the execution.
Yeah, it was a double move play, so I knew I had a little time to be patient, and I was fortunately able to beat him back to the outside, and Matt put a good ball on me.
Good start for you guys. Well done. We'll chat soon. Thank you. Kevin?
Jenny, thanks. Love it. Shelton Lewis on that double move as the cornerback fell down, so it was a good one as Pearson was able to score it from 12 yards out. Here is Murray stepping up in the pocket. Got a man wide open. It's caught by Tolliver with room to run into Guardians territory. And Jalen Tolliver all the way down to the 31-yard line. He was open by a mile.
So this all starts with the protection. You're going to see here Williams is going to take the top off the defense, and Tolliver's just going to come and replace that layer in the zone. Just a two-man concept, super basic, but it only works if you got great protection. They kept both tight ends in and just put layers into the defense, and Tolliver's wide open. Good first down play there for Murray to try to get on track here and try to get a score.
And a gain of 44.
Go for switch, go for switch, go for switch. Monday, Monday!
Here is Murray. Has time. Rolls away. Looking, throwing late and incomplete.
Thought he had a shot there at Tolliver again. They had the three receivers down to the bottom. I'm not sure if he just didn't feel comfortable letting it go or if he didn't see him. Thought he had a shot there for another big play to Tolliver. So Tolliver, you see him here. He's the inside third receiver. I don't know if he didn't like the timing of it, but you see him when he comes out, when he's sick and reacts.
Right there.
He's got a chance here to put that ball on. That's a throw that Aaron Murray can make. Wasn't the original route concept, kind of a little more of a scramble drill. We've seen Murray now break contain a few times. He's just got to trust himself and put the ball on.
Murray gets it out into the flat. It's caught by Patrick, and there is not much room to run. Patrick stopped by Ben Heaney, the former Oakland Raider. It'll be a third down and long. Tampa Bay's found themselves in these third and long situations a couple times already today, although they are 2 of 3 on third down.
I think this is one of those spots Trestman's got to consider this 4-down territory here, right? He doesn't have to get all this on third down. I think realize you got 2 downs here to get 11 yards. This part of the field, down 2 scores.
It's only a 4-man rush. Throw is incomplete. Not sure who that was to. There was a couple receivers in the area. Truesdell was there. Tolliver was there. Now a 4th and long. And looks like they will send out a field goal unit. So even though there are no extra point attempts from a kicker, you can kick field goals in this league, and that's what they will try with Andrew Franks, who actually kicked for the Dolphins in 2015 and 2016. This will be a 50-yard field goal attempt to get the Vipers on the board. And Franks is no good.
It's a long kick in this stadium. NFL kickers have always struggled here.
Franks just a little left, and the Guardians continue in the league 14-zip. Greatest day in all of racing returns. The Daytona 500 kicks off the 2020 NASCAR season next Sunday, 2:30 Eastern, with a pre-race beginning at 1. It's only on Fox. Look forward to that great event. And here it's the opening weekend of the XFL on Fox. Good one from East Rutherford, New Jersey. 14-0 the home team. The New York Guardians in black. There they are with Matt McGloin and company. McGloin's got a touchdown pass. He's got a touchdown run. And this Guardians offense off to a good start early in the second quarter. Victor, pressure in the backfield, and he's got nowhere to go. So it's interesting, Kevin Gilbride, we told you, the head coach of the Guardians, have patrolled these sidelines with the Giants for so long as the offensive coordinator, winning Super Bowls with Eli Manning and Tom Coughlin. But there is G.A. Mangus, George Mangus, who is the quarterback's coach, who is calling the plays. And we both found that fascinating because Gilbride has made a living of calling plays. It's the first time in Gilbride's professional life
essentially, that he hasn't called the plays.
And it was just really interesting insight, the amount of thought he put into it. He said, listen, my style of play calls, it worked in the NFL. It worked under that 40-second play clock. It might not work here with these adjusted rules and this more up-tempo.
All right, here we go.
I need to.
Here we go. Stay in three wides. Three wides. Let's go. Gun half left. 81 key captain. W stutter go.
So we finally got the
81 key captain W stutter.
So now we hear the play call from J.M. Angus.
We've been waiting all day to hear the play calls. I think it's such a unique insight. We finally got that back up and working. But like we were talking about before, he needed someone that had a little more of this up-tempo, no-huddle, RPO-type offense, and he turned over the play calling to J.M. Angus. I thought that was pretty interesting for a guy who's made his whole career as a play caller.
As the blitz was picked up there, but McGloin was off the mark to Joe Horn. It'll be a 3-and-out. And Jerry Glanville's defense gets a much-needed stop, down 14-0. And we'll continue to listen in when we can on some of those play calls, take you inside the game here on the XFL on Fox. It's a cool thing. And now the punt by Vogel. Here's Horn, fair catch. Back at the 12, where we will take a break. 9:25 to go in this first half. The Guardians in control early. It's 14-0. 14-0 Guardians lead the Vipers here week 1 the XFL on Fox, and Guardians head coach Kevin Gilbride now joins us on the headset. Kevin, it's Kevin and Greg upstairs, and I'm just curious your take on Matt McGloin running this offense. What do you like so far?
Well, I think he's done a great job. He's seen where the pressures are coming from. I think he's identified where those things are, directed our protection the way it needs to be. He's made some terrific throws. We just had a little miscommunication on that last one. We were trying to run a hook route to Joe Horn, but other than that, I think he's really done a terrific job.
Hey, Coach, this is Greg. You mentioned that you weren't sure you're going to be able to keep your mouth shut when it came to calling plays. How's that transition been here a little over a quarter?
Let's just say I'm making a lot of suggestions. But I'm trying to do it at the appropriate time.
All right. All right, Kevin, appreciate. Go back to coaching. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Kevin Gilbride, very kind to head coach in the middle of a game to throw on a headset. Meanwhile, his defense makes the play there, Greg. It's Joey Mbu comes in and will take the sack. And it'll be a second down and long. I love that, right? We were talking about giving. Maybe he hasn't totally given away the play calls.
You can't change him. He's made his whole career as a play caller. He's in G.A. Mangus's ear this entire game. He's not fooling anybody.
He fooled us temporarily anyway. Daniel Williams has a catch. And he's on his feet out near the 20. See where they put it out of bounds. Right at the 21. So it'll be a third down and short coming up. Aaron Murray just trying to get in a little groove. He's faced some pressure here today. 7 of 14 for 94 yards. And remember the interception in the end zone after a really nice drive.
55 X-Next.
Murray's got to find a way here to just get in a little rhythm, convert. You see there's a lot of trying to get this play called here.
Oh, hey, 67.
Everybody's looking around.
67.
Not sure what they're doing. There we go.
Remember, with that 25-second play clock, things escalate quickly. Play clock at 10, plenty of time. 3rd and 2. Pressure up the middle. Murray fires, got a completion. It's Williams. First down, out across the 30. And they go with the quick hitter that time, and it worked to move the chains.
Yeah, and this is about as simple as it gets here. It's just a 3-man concept. They're going to run a guy to the flat, and they just brought Williams in on just what they call a snag route. He comes in. He's got a lot of really good talented players around him. Their skill, they kept 9 wide receivers, which is kind of unheard of. They feel really strongly that they got a rotation of wideouts that they can put in there at any position and really get after guys. That's a position on this team they feel is a strength.
Davion Smith out across the 35. Well, I guess you keep 9 wide receivers. It's like playing the odds. Like you figure a couple of them are going to.
Somebody will be able to play, right?
Going to work out, right? We know this. They kept not only 9, and then they kept a lot of guys who have some major league size. I mean, there's Reese Horn, number 18. He's just slot receiver. I mean, he's 6'3", 222. And I know not in today's football, not every slot receiver is 5'8" anymore. But that's a big guy to put in the slot.
He's got a great group. I mean, he couldn't say enough good things about the group of guys around him at the the receiver and tight end positions.
Murray, blitz picked up, throw a little behind, but he's got a completion. That was a great catch by the aforementioned Horn for a first down.
This was the same play we saw him hit on the drive prior to the pick. Horn's here off the screen to the left, and he's just going to cross the safety's face. We talked about it earlier. In the first quarter, he ran the same route. That seems to be a play that him and Murray are comfortable with. They got to keep finding those rhythm passes, get the ball out of his hand on time, and again, use these receivers that he has that are so talented.
Monday!
Murray on the pump, has time, going deep, going for Tolliver, but he was well covered by Jamar Summers. Remember, we heard from him earlier in the game. He was mic'd up, and he was all over that play. You know, interesting when we're talking about play calling from the Guardians side. One of the innovations, the differences in this league is that not only is the quarterback have the mic in the helmet, the skill players have a mic in their helmet. So the communication is very different. You know, tell us, if you're out in the field, how does it affect you as a tight end, you know, not having to listen to the quarterback for the play necessarily? It's huge. Outside of the offensive line, the quarterback really doesn't have to signal or say much to the skill players. They're all getting the same feed that he is, which is not typical in, you know, in the other leagues, especially the NFL. And, you know, it allows you to get lined up. It allows you to get into your position and get your split. I think it's a great innovation. Again, this play clock being so sped up, it allows these teams, you haven't seen either team really get into a huddle, and a big part of that is because of the feed going right into their helmet of all the players, not just the quarterback. Now, the offensive linemen don't have the radio in their helmet, so there still has to be some communication there. 3rd down and 10 coming up. Murray, blitz coming. Murray gets decked, unleashes, and it's dropped. He had it right in the numbers for Williams as he got decked, but it's incomplete.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Murray hasn't been perfect. He's had the pick, but that right there, he did everything he could. Ben Healy, you see him, he comes here. He puts his helmet right in his chin. He throws that ball on time. Williams just has to catch the ball. He threw it on time, a little comeback route. He's got plenty of distance for the first down. He's just got to catch the ball.
You know, interesting here in the punting game, another one of the rule variations. If the ball goes out of bounds here, anywhere inside the 35, the ball gets put on the 35-yard line. So it's not necessarily a gimme to punt, even though it's a 4th and long. This one not in danger of going out of bounds. Duke's going to take it and looking to make people miss, and it works to the Vipers' favor, as the Guardians will be deep in their own territory with 4:37 to go in the first half. Matt McGloin, well, he's looking pretty solid in this game here, going over the middle, working in the tight end. I know you love that. And then McGloin standing in, delivering a ball in a tight window to Joe Horn. How about the quarterback sneak doing it himself to get the Guardians on the board? He fired in a souvenir. And then how about a little floater on a double move? You like that, Greg Olson?
He's again, they talk so much about his poise and, you know, his experience, his maturity. He's gotten off to as good a start I think Kevin Gilbride could have hoped for in their first home game to start out the season. And as we say that, there's confusion on the field, and they had to waste the timeout right on cue.
Yeah, so the Guardians call their first timeout. If you notice on our little score bug there is only 2 timeouts per team per half. So that is a little different than we're used to. One thing of note, you know, we listened into the replay official before and heard that conversation. The replay official has a chance to call down and stop the play to look at any play, but a coach cannot initiate a review. So, again, little subtleties, 2 timeouts each, and now they're down to 1 timeout each remaining in this first half. Showed you the highlights of Matt McGloin. 7 of 13, 97 yards, and the touchdown. And here they go from their own 15. High snap. Comes near side. Victor knocked him over. Then he gets on up. and he swarmed just before the 20. Victor's going to pick up 5 yards.
Yeah, he's just, again, this is he's throwing this ball to Victor. The other two receivers are going out to block. There's no reads here. He's catching this and just throwing it to his back. He just fell down. The ball was a little on his back shoulder. Those backs aren't used to catching that ball like that sometimes. He's a downhill runner. I don't know if the passing game is very much his strength, but just trying to get the ball out in space to their backs, use the receivers as blockers. They didn't get as much as they were hoping there.
Vipers show blitz. They come with it. McGloin sees it over the middle. McKay catching traffic, makes a move, and he's got a first down for New York. Well executed by McGloin and McKay.
They bring pressure here. Yesterday, Glanville told us he was really going to dial up the pressure. You see him bring. McKay does a great job crossing. That corner is driving on that ball. He's hot there. He's adjusting his route. McGloin knows he's not protected to that side. He's got to buy some time and deliver that ball. McKay, you can see now he's starting to get comfortable. He made the big play earlier to set up the touchdown. He's a guy, big body there at that single side receiver. They feel real good about that matchup.
McGloin has time. Now he's going to roll away from late pressure, pointing deep, looking to throw it there, and he's going for his tight end, Powell. And he can't hook up with Powell. Let's go down the field again. Jenny is working hard. She's got Aaron Murray of the Vipers.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Aaron, just quickly, getting this offense going, what is it lacking right now? You want to still get on the board here?
We're moving the ball. We've had some drives. Obviously got in the red zone that first one, and bad decision on my part trying to throw it up. So just throwing it away. And we've had some good drives about getting, finishing off a little bit. And I think we have some confidence right now to do that. We just got to go out there and execute. It's little things right now, but we'll be fine.
Saw you getting your foot looked at a bit with the medical staff. What are you dealing with?
Oh, nothing. Just getting hit for the first time in a while, so we'll be good to go for us again.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jenny, thanks. And it's true, right? I mean, these teams haven't hit anybody, and they've been screaming. Even the practice game was just thud rule. A couple penalties fly on this incompletion here.
I think they're both going to be on the Vipers. I think the defensive end who jumped, I didn't see what number it was. I think he then ended up punching him. Yeah, Mount jumped. I think they called that, and then I think he punched the offensive lineman under the chin. I think it's going to be on both on the defense. Let's sort that out here.
Dead ball foul. Okay. No, we got to combine them both. So I'm going to have 53 defense and 97 punch. Do you want him gone? Okay. 2 fouls on the play. 2 fouls on the play. Correct. Yeah, because one's live and dead, but you only get one. Yes. But 97 is going to. Correct. Correct. 97's gone. 97 is going to go. There are 2 fouls on the play. Offsides. Defense number 53. By rule, that penalty's declined. After the play was over, personal foul. 97 defense for throwing a punch. He has been disqualified. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So Ricky Walker, the 23-year-old out of Virginia Tech, has been ejected for throwing a punch. Let's see if we can see. Oh, that's pretty easy to see.
That's pretty clean there. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
The play is long over. That's Ian Silberman, the starting center for the Guardians. So
former teammate of mine in Carolina.
There you go.
Ian Silberman just took one for the team, literally.
And so the Vipers lose a defensive lineman. Josh Banks will come in for him now in the middle, and a 1st and 10 for New York with 2:25 to go in this first half. They've got a timeout in their arsenal. McGloin gets it to the tight end Powell, who breaks a tackle. Jake Powell making people miss. Gutting through the tackle, gets it out to midfield. He's got a gain of 6.
Glanville, he told us yesterday they're not afraid to drive these routes, but the part he's got to, that these defenders have to understand is driving it's one thing. You got to make the tackle. That's a big body tight end there. Most of the time you see those DBs go low, cut his legs out. Powell was able to bunt. I think he got a little dinged up. He didn't come back on the field. He's getting some medical treatment there on the side. might have taken a fastball to the ribs there.
Yeah, they're going to check him out, and while they do, we have hit the 2-minute warning here from East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Guardians XFL opening weekend on Fox. They're up 14. They're looking for more on the move. Back after this. SkyCam this afternoon is brought to you by Roman, as we've got 2 minutes to go in the first half. 14-0 New York leading Tampa Bay. And this is interesting. A different rule for the XFL is the comeback period. So you're talking about the 2 minutes of the first half, 2 minutes at the end of the game. Anything in the field of play, the clock will stop until the ball has been spotted, and then 5 seconds run off the play clock. And then incomplete passes and out of bounds, the game clock will stop until the ball is snapped. So the bottom line is you don't have to run a boundary play. You could do anything you want in the middle of the field and still get to the line and run the next play.
And you can run the ball if it's a short yard situation. The run is still there because even after that play, the clock stops. It gives the offense a lot of opportunities to sustain the drive. And just like you said, it's called the comeback period. They want more offensive plays under 2 minutes.
They've only got one timeout, but with those rules, it changes everything. Vipers look like they were offsides. There is a flag, and this play never existed. Might have been a little too far offsides from Bobby Richardson. We'll see. We'll get the call.
Offside defense, number 91, unabated the quarterback. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Yeah, we've seen the Vipers do this a few times. It's almost like they think they have a beat on the cadence, but they're just a little off. They're not timing it exactly right. You saw McGloin arguing with the official after it. He wanted them to let the play continue.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he said, forget the 5 yards. I want the pass completion. But the official decided to stop the play and award the penalty.
It is a first down from the 45. McGloin with time, tipped at the line, and it's incomplete. Josh Banks got his hands on that one with 1:56 to go in this first half. So what's your take on McGloin and the job he's done with this offense here, the first real action for this squad?
I've been impressed. I think they're going to be very balanced. You know, any Kevin Gilbride team is going to want to run the ball. They're going to be balanced and play action stuff. Again, he's got some weapons on the outside that he can use, but I've been impressed with him. I think he's done a nice job. He's orchestrated. If they can get points here and go in up 3 scores at the end of the half, that would be huge. This Vipers defense needs to settle in. They got to keep this offense, keep their team in this game here.
Back foot throw. McGloin has a man. Horn caught as he inbounds. He is not. Tried to stay in there, but Robert Priester with the big hard hit, and it forced him out of bounds.
Great job by Priester not giving up on that play. McGloin kind of sailed that a little bit. You see Horn kind of slow down as he gets to the boundary, and they teach these defenders go through the ball, through the man, and finish every play. And he didn't knock the ball incomplete, but his effort in just finishing the play allowed him to go out of bounds. You see, he just didn't quite get his left foot in there. Like I was saying, this Vipers defense needs to rally here. Their offense is really struggling. They got no points to show. They got to dial up some pressure. They got to change the pace of this game a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Glanville kind of turn up the heat a little bit.
3rd and 10. He doesn't on this play, but still pressure. McGloin again throws off his back foot, and there's just nobody there. He was hoping that Colby Pearson could break free. But he had some pressure from DeAndre's Mount and had to unload it, and now here comes the punt team. And so as you requested, the Vipers defense did their job.
They needed to. They got to give this offense a chance. This Trestman offense. This is not what Trestman is known for. He's an offensive mind. He's labeled as a guru. Been great in the NFL, the CFL. He's got to find a way to get Murray in this offense in rhythm. And what a great chance here before the half to try to get on the board.
Vogel punted away. Good high kick, and Horn fair catch again. Vogel's done a nice job on these punts. Hasn't allowed a return. And why don't we listen in now to Mark Trestman on the Vipers sideline.
All right, let's start with Spartan. You go to that? I'm not. All right, let's go fin right. We're in nickel. Fin right, 66, Hank Chop. Okay, is that right hash? Is it right hash? Let's flip it. Fin left. Fin left. Fin left. 67, Hank Chop.
So he saw the hash mark on the right. That means he wanted the more space on the left side, correct?
So you saw him and the offensive coordinator, Jamie Elizondo, kind of going back and forth. They wanted to first call, one play, and then they changed it to this hang chop. Yeah, the first part of the play is the formation. They set it to the left.
Murray throws incomplete. Tried to get it to Tolliver, but he was covered well by Bryce Jones. Let's listen more.
60, fin left. 67, go for burst. 67, go for burst.
It's going to be the same formation as last time. They're going to set it on the right hash into the left side, to the field, to the open side. The number you hear, 67, that's telling the offensive line their pass protection responsibilities. So most likely they're going to be sliding to the left, identifying the lineman to the left.
Murray over the middle, and what a catch! Absorbing the hit, it's Truesdell. A one-hander and the hit. He's all the way out across the 40-yard line for a 27-yard gain. Wow.
If you want to be able to play tight end at any level, you have to be able to get down the field. You see the two safeties kind of split. They each favor the numbers. When you have a guy like Truesdell who can run, big body, and get down the middle of the field, in these situations, those are critical. That's every quarterback's dream. What a big-time play there by Truesdell.
Murray incomplete, tried to get it to Horn. And you got to go back to that catch to look at that concentration and the hit.
To know you're going to get hit, people don't realize. You know that guy, he's getting closer to that ball. And to be able to bobble that with his left hand, maintain possession, and take a shot right in the stomach and hold on. Those are the plays that Murray and Trestman talked about that he's capable of making. Again, a guy with an unbelievable journey, even to have himself playing pro ball, everything he's been through. What a remarkable story and a remarkable play there by Truesdell.
NASCAR, set.
Here's Murray. Walks away from pressure, doesn't see anything he likes, and he throws it away.
He's doing it again, though. There's no real pressure, Kev. He's got a clean pocket. His receivers are trying to work downfield. But when you start rolling out and break and contain, not only does that throw off the rhythm of your passing game, it puts your offensive lineman in a really tough spot because they're protecting you for being at that X, and now all of a sudden you're running off your spot.
It's going to be a third down, 1:05 to go in the half. Murray, pressure this time, and down he goes. The Guardians get home for the sack. It's Ryan Mueller who got there first. And Savon Walker with a little bit of help as well. And now a timeout on the field.
Damn, he got under it.
So Ryan Mueller from Morristown, New Jersey, who was actually the Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year back in 2013.
There were 12 players on the defense. That results in a 5-yard penalty.
That's why no one's open.
Third down.
And all that nice work by Ryan Mueller, his family in Morristown feeling great. And it got taken right away like that, Greg.
They were trying to call timeout. You saw the entire secondary was signaling timeout. They didn't get it in time. They knew they weren't lined up. They knew they had too many guys on the field, and ended up killing them. Instead of getting off the field, they're giving the Vipers another shot.
Yeah, big penalty. Makes it a third down and 5 now. The drive will continue.
NASCAR, set.
Murray over the middle. What another great catch and a flag on the hit. Williams hauled it in, and Soro, who had the interception earlier, actually that's Horn, Reese Horn, and Williams with the hit and likely the penalty flag. So a couple penalties in this Vipers drive continues.
This is a staple Mark Trestman West Coast play. The tight end's going to run. He's going to pull the Mike linebacker out, and that slot receiver's got to cross face.
Defense, number 30. Unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the completion. First down.
I don't know. That looked like a pretty good hit to me. It looked like Soro came up and delivered a blow with his shoulder to his side. Let's see. You're going to see here Reese Horn cross face. I don't know. That looked like a pretty good hit. It's a huge penalty, though.
It's a big one, right? I mean, visually, it's visually because of how hard it was in the head snap back.
Yeah, in live action, it always looks better. It always looks worse. I know I'm an offensive player, but it's hard playing defense anymore.
Murray tipped. It is intercepted. Guardians stop another drive with a pick. It's Bryce Jones who's got it. Hendy got the tip. Jones the pick, the second interception of the game for New York.
Hendy did a great job. He dropped right under that. He's probably mad he didn't get to go take his picture. picture in the end zone. He should have had to pick, but Jones, he picks off the deflection. Murray just didn't see him. Hendy, he really baited him into that throw. That's a ball. The second it came out of his hand, he wished he had it back. You see him try to throw it right up the seam here. The linebacker doesn't, 33, Hendy does a great job just kind of dropping right under that. The second that ball came out of his hand, he's lucky he wasn't picked twice.
And so now the Guardians with 31 seconds to go in the half. Remember, the clock stops on balls in play in this comeback period. And 2 interceptions on the day have really helped this effort. McGloin in trouble, throws it over the middle. He's got Victor, bounces off 1 tackle, and then gets whacked a couple more times out across the 35 to the 37. Clock will stop until they spot it, and then 5 seconds run off the play clock. So when it gets to 20.
Yeah, so those are plays typically you would tell your quarterback with no timeouts, just ground it, throw it into the dirt. It's not worth getting 5 yards. But with them stopping the clock, you really have an option to make the most out of every play.
3-man rush, still pressure from Whitlock on McGloin, who floats it deep. He's got a man wide open, has caught. Pearson's got it into Vipers territory, down near the 30. Timeout called 5 seconds to go in the half. Wow. 32 yards on the hookup.
This got to be just a busted coverage. Oh, exactly. So the corner, he's sitting and driving. Glanville told us yesterday, right, Kev? Everything they do is combo coverage. You run a 2-man route, we're going to sit and we're going to drive. Well, the corner drove. He drove the tight end, Powell, and there's nobody guarding Pearson up the sideline. That's just mixed communications. When we heard that from Glanville yesterday, we were a little surprised he was trying to put in such complex defensive coverage in such a short period of time with a lot of inexperienced players, and you saw it kind of catch him there.
Yeah, they've had the deep ball today, Greg. It's been a factor, right? I mean, 32 yards on the play there. We saw the 45-yarder to Mikhail McKay earlier, and now with the 1 timeout, they called it, and they will have a field goal opportunity, try and make it a 17-0 game with 5 seconds left in the half. Matthew McCrane is their kicker, formerly Kansas State, kicked in the league for Oakland, Arizona, and Pittsburgh, all in the same year of 2018 in the NFL. His long there was 47 yards. See his numbers at Kansas State. His career long at college was 54 yards. It's certainly within his range. This would be a 49-yard field goal for the Guardians. Vogel is the man to hold. And now we get a whistle. A timeout. This kick is not going to count. And the Vipers call the timeout. The old
kick, charge timeout. Tampa Bay.
Do we still ice the kicker? I guess we do. I didn't know that was still a thing.
30-second timeout.
But it is here.
Still a thing.
Still a thing. And so we'll try and do it again and take that moment to remind you that more football is coming next weekend. The New York Guardians take on Cardale Jones and the D.C. Defenders Saturday at 2 Eastern on ABC. And then on Fox, these Tampa Bay Vipers head to Seattle to face Keenan Reynolds and the Dragons at 5 Eastern. Keenan Reynolds, remember that great quarterback in Navy, played for the Seahawks this year as a wideout, and now quarterbacking Seattle's franchise. That'll be fun. It's the opening weekend of the XFL. It's been a good start, and a good start for the home team in the Guardians. Again, we'll try the 49-yard field goal from Matthew McCrane. Hold is down, kick is up, and it is right down Broadway. 17-0 New York at the half. And the first field goal try by Matthew McCrane is right down the middle. And a great half for the Guardians. How's he feeling about it? I'd say pretty good. Matthew McGloin with a nice first half. He's got a touchdown pass, a touchdown run, 154 yards passing, and a finger in the air because it's 17-0. Guardians. Down to the sidelines we go again with Jenny Taft.
And Bryce Jones and Andrew Soro, the difference makers in that half. Now take me through the interception and the celebration and how good it felt to be back out here.
The safety made a great play. AJ made a great play on the ball. We always say, like they say, tips and overdose, you got to get them. I was just having to be in the right place at the right time. Coach said when we get one, he wants the whole team to celebrate. So we've been doing this together for a couple months. And, so we got down there, we celebrate together.
And that was a great rep by that kid, too. That was a great rep by that kid.
What is working so well for this defense right now, Andrew?
Right now, I think it's just the energy. We came out high intensity, great energy, great crowd. We just feeding up the crowd right now. The coach is making some great calls. We just executing the calls that he's making right now.
to have for you guys. Well done. Let's have some more fun in the second, right?
Yeah,
okay, see you guys out there. Kevin?
Jenny, appreciate that. Great stuff from the guys in this defense for the Guardians, doing a job. On their way to a 17-0 first half lead, and so the XFL debut in New York. The home fans are loving it. They're up big on Tampa Bay. Halftime in the XFL is only 10 minutes, so we'll be back in a jiffy with some highlights and more. Back after this.
Have to fight from the beginning to the end of this game. 1, 2, 3, fight down.
Guardians surging forward. It's a touchdown. What a start on the opening drive, and Matt McGloin takes it in himself. It is. It's picked off by New York. You see Dewan Hines say no, no, no.
We have a good view here. When he landed on the ground, he only had 1 foot down. The ball was jarred loose, so it's going to be an incomplete pass.
It's a touchdown. Colby Pearson. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive at the half as we get set for this third quarter where the Guardians all over the Vipers 17-0. That is your score. And hi everyone, welcome back to the broadcast booth. 3-time Pro Bowl tight end Greg Olson is with me, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So we started talking about the head coaches, the quarterbacks, and offense, but really the Guardians defense has stolen the show, Greg.
Yeah, Jim Herman's got to be thrilled, right? His Guardian defense has really set the tone from the early. The 2 big turnovers, a couple big hits. They really got their team off to the right start. Defensively. You see here early in the game, Murray kind of floating back, pressure in his face. You heard him tell Jenny he wish he had that throwback. I'm impressed with this Guardians defense. So much of it was about the D-line, but their secondary, their linebackers, their back-level guys, they've done a great job for Jim Herman and Kevin Gilbride.
A couple of turnovers. They've got the sack, couple of big hits, and a dance from Mbu. And then, yeah, we showed you the interception in the end zone, but then another Vipers drive. And all kinds of pressure. Here's the other pick by Jones, and that drive at the end of the first half, of course, they converted into a field goal, and that's why it's 17-0 as we get set for this third quarter. Let's go down the sidelines with Jenny Taff.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Jerry Glanville, D coordinator for the Vipers. I just want to know what was addressed at the break and what you'd like to see differently in the second.
Well, we really addressed it before we went in at break. We had a combo coverage on the slot, so we had a double, and he catches a touchdown pass. You can't catch a touchdown pass if we got you double. Credit them, our bad. And the next time we're in the 3-deep zone, and when the quarterback scrambled, the corner ran up, and they threw another touchdown. So we've given them 14 points on 2 mental errors, and then we got penalties. If you get penalties, they end up with points. We got to stop the penalties. We're hitting them good. We're bag-bagging them. We're gang tackling them, but we got to play a whole lot better.
All right, I appreciate your time. I knew you've been coaching for 7 decades now, Jerry. We are lucky to have you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Jenny, appreciate that with Coach Glanville as we get set for the kickoff, and here it is. And the Vipers have with Matt Brown looking for a seam, and he's going to work his way just across the 30-yard line, and we'll see this Vipers offense, which has moved the ball at times, but they've been obviously a little topsy-turvy. Murray, 12 of 26, 156 yards passing with the 2 interceptions here today as we take a look at his numbers. And there you go. We only saw Quinn Flowers 1 time in the first half. Thought maybe we'd see him more, and maybe we do here in this second half. Give a little spark on the handoff. It is Smith. And Davion Smith has a nice run. He's got 8 yards on first down. Greg Flowers, you talked about in the first half, thought this could have a kind of a Taysom Hill feel like he did for the Saints. He's an all-everything guy. His numbers in college were insane.
Yeah, I have a feeling, though, watching Murray's body language here on the sideline, I'm not sure if this is just a couple plays or if he's going to take this series, whether they made these adjustments at half and wanted to see if Flowers maybe could jumpstart this offense. But Murray is very casual right now on the sidelines. He hasn't gone back in. This is interesting. If Flowers could lead them on a drive here, we might have ourselves the first XFL QB battle going on.
Quarterback controversy in week 1.
Week 1, first game here.
A 25-year-old went to South Florida. More on him in a second as we get a penalty flag. And it looks like the Vipers move.
Ball start, offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And so Murray, you see, he's kind of lingering behind Mark Trestman, but I think you're right. At least right now, I don't think he's getting back in the game.
This doesn't look like a package, right? Earlier in the game, he came out for the one play in the beginning of the game, and he was itching. The second the play was over, he ran right back out. He knew it was just one play. It's not the same body language that he has right now on the sideline.
Flowers on the handoff. They get it to Smith. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 1. So Flowers, you look at what he did. He was the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year in 2016. His numbers at South Florida, as we hear the play coming in. But the numbers, how about this that year, Greg? 15-30 rushing, 18 touchdowns, 28-12 passing, 24 touchdowns. It's a nice ho-hum year.
He's incredible. The folks back in Tampa, they know what this kid can do. They saw him up close and personal. They're thrilled he's in this organization, and they're hoping he's got some magic left in him.
Oh, blitz there, no magic. Cosoro came on the safety blitz, and he had to get rid of it. It's incomplete. So Andrew Soren, we get a flag at the end of this play. If anything, it could be grounding as well. I'm not sure that got back near the line of scrimmage.
Tackle tackled the running back. They were trying to set up a screen there. So I wonder if the refs didn't see that and there was no one in the area.
For intentional grounding, as there was a receiver number 24 in the area. 2nd down.
Good call. They did see it, turns out.
Yeah, the defensive lineman saw him coming out. You see here, when Smith tries to release, watch 90, he literally just bear hugs him and grabs him. So that's where the running back was supposed to go to set up the screen, to get behind his line, to get behind his offensive lineman, and he just didn't have a chance. Big old 93 there. Barnes just bear hugged him.
Aaron Murray is back in the game right now, so he does come back and welcome in. It's 3rd and 11. Not an easy task. Guardians rush 4. They get pressure. Murray stands in. Ball is on the ground. Loose. And it looks like Tampa Bay comes back with the ball, but Boonmi Rotinmi with the strip sack.
I'll tell you, they've got to figure out what they want to do here. Murray plays the first couple snaps on the sideline. You bring him in 3rd and 11, struggling passing. Yeah, just a clean strip sack. They're lucky they didn't lose the ball and they even have a chance to punt here. We mentioned it at halftime. This Guardians defense has really, really controlled this game between the picks, the turnovers. Now we saw the strip sack. Murray's this offense here of the Vipers is really kind of flailing.
Yeah, 2nd sack of the game for the Guardians and another punt. As Duke going to call fair catch, and he will do that at the 24. We'll see Matt McGloin on the field one more time, and he's done a nice job with this offense and really set the tone on the opening drive, Greg.
He did. I mean, that opening drive, when we talked with Gilbride, we asked him, do you script plays? And he said, yeah, we're going to give McGloin the things that he really likes. And you saw early in this game, they got him some completions, hit the big 3rd down conversion to keep the drive alive that he ended up scoring with the quarterback sneak. They did a great job as a staff and with McGloin figuring out what he does well, what can we get him comfortable and settled into the game. And from that first drive, they've really controlled the entire game to this point.
See the numbers, 12-22, 154 yards, touchdown pass, a touchdown run as well. Now try to get this offense going on the ground game with Cook, who, even though listed as the lead back, hasn't really been featured much today. Darius Victor's gotten more carries, and Cook for about 2 yards.
You heard Glanville tell Jenny coming out of the halftime break, he obviously, you could just see it on his face, he was super disgusted about the way his defense played, the penalties, guys punching guys, getting ejected. It's just, they got to find a way to settle in here, get the ball back for their offense in some good field position, and seeing if they can keep them in the game. They're going to have to have a spark play here.
Loin, near side's got a man wide open, and he's got the catch and the connection and a lost helmet as well. Joe Horn has been featured a lot of targets in this game for Horn, and it looks like he's got the 1st down. We'll see where they mark it.
Yeah, just a basic flat route there. Not a great throw by McGloin. Horn, better catch than it was a throw. He's got to put that ball out in front of him, but a great run after catch. He breaks Priester's tackle, who ends up losing his helmet. And he picks up a couple extra yards to get the 1st down.
4 down, like 45. Set. Put it in. Put it on. Hot.
And we get some movement. And that'll move it back 5 on the Guardians.
False start, offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty. First down.
So it's interesting with Matt McGloin, right? He's 30 years old, which is certainly not old for a football player, but he's the oldest guy on his team, and he knows it and he embraces it. You know, the leadership. He's like, I knew it coming in, and I'm, ready for it. But you talk about he got that time with the Raiders. Well, he was in camp with the Eagles in 2017. He was in camp with the Chiefs in 2018. And, talk about, it's kind of like the Andy Reid guys, right? With Reid in Kansas City, Doug Peterson in Philly, as McGloin now has it tipped and it's incomplete. And I asked him the other day, I said, so what did you take from those experiences with those coaches, with those really good offenses? Even though he didn't get into the season with those teams, he's like, well, what I took is I missed out on a couple really good runs.
Yeah, he had a good outlook on it. I think a lot of guys would feel, man, what could have been, right? But here's a guy that got his first start as a rookie out in Oakland, and he wins, right? And he gets off to a great start, and ends up struggling a little bit, loses the next 6, and those are really the only games he really plays much in his NFL career. Bounced around, as you mentioned, but he's got a lot of ability, a lot of the traits you're looking for at the quarterback position, and Kevin Gilbride can't say enough good things about him.
Bring up a 3rd down and long. More on that. Let's go back down to Jenny.
And Matt McGloin talked so much about the opportunity and the timing that you guys have mentioned. And just to keep in mind, like we know, played at Penn State from Scranton, so only about 2 hours away. He's got so many friends and family here today. His wife, Bailey, she was a cheerleader at Penn State. And also, it was important for him, and something he mentioned, he wanted to play in front of his son, Marshall John. He will turn 1 on Valentine's, so that is coming up for him. He's playing in front of so many friends and family today.
That's a pretty cool story, Jenny. It's nice for him. Not nice is the pressure in his face. Stays on his feet. Little fake. Bobbles, lost the ball, and he got it back. He had a lot going on the one play. It almost made something special happen, but instead it looks like a punting situation.
How cool is it, though? We talk about the stories. I mean, I know this wasn't the best play to follow up, but, Jenny giving you an insight, just humanizing these guys. Here's a guy that had a great career in college, has kind of been chasing this dream for a few years now. To finally have a chance to play in front of your kids, play professional football with your family local. I mean, those are the stories that make this league so unique and so fun. And, you can't help but root for guys like that.
And here is the punt. Dante Dye back to receive it. Good high booming kick by Vogel. He's had a nice game. Dye reverses field, looking to make something happen, and nothing there. Justin Vogel has had quite the game punting for the Guardians. The Vipers have done nothing on offense. Can they turn it around against the stingy Guardians D? We'll see. XFL on Fox is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And it's all Guardians here this afternoon. It's opening weekend of the XFL. 17-0 New York in front of Tampa Bay. Vipers have gotten a couple of drives going, but they have 2 interceptions from Aaron Murray that have hindered things, but they've been uneven against this Guardians defense. Murray on the quick throw, goes far side, gets it to Williams, and they've got a positive gain on 1st down. Let's listen in to the Vipers sideline.
All right, let's go. Home strong right, Zeke can. Good Floyd X smoke.
Hey, good Floyd, good Floyd. Good Floyd, good Floyd. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So good Floyd, you hear him? He's telling so the lineman can't hear the call, so he's saying good Floyd. That's for the offensive lineman. Just a basic power play to the right. We talked to Tressman and the offensive coordinator, Jamie Elizondo, and what they had to do to kind of code word. You hear a lot of single words.
Pistol tight bunch left. Excuse me. Pistol tight bunch left. Bad Gator. Bad Gator.
So pistol bunch left. So they're going to line up in a 3 bunch. You see the 3 receivers there to the bunch. And then Gator. All these code words are not the typical offense that Tressman has used. He's been a West Coast guy, heavy verbiage, a lot of different words. They just worried that didn't translate into this model. Faster play clock, communication in the huddle. They've simplified every play call to these code words. And it's really interesting now to see, are they struggling with it? Is that why the offense is lingering?
They're not even ready. Let's go.
It's really interesting to see him kind of.
Well, here's Patrick has a first down. Well, you said, are they struggling? You heard Mark Trestman say they're not even ready. Let's go.
They're not even ready. You heard him say NASCAR, NASCAR. That's a very general term that a lot of systems use to go hurry up, to just get on the line, keep the defense on their heels. And that's why, like we mentioned, all these singular words.
Good mango, good mango.
Good mingo, good mingo. That's all they're saying, and that tells everybody on the field who they're responsible for and what to do.
Monday, Monday! Hurry, hurry, set!
Tolliver has the catch, look for some blocks, and he works his way out to the 47.
And to the viewer at home, this is, we're hearing a lot more than they're typically used to hearing. And if you're not familiar with the language, it really makes sense to nobody other than the team on the field, and trying to kind of dissect what these words mean. You can sort of piece it together as the game goes on, but it's nice to finally have an insight into this communication between the coach and the quarterback.
Quentin Flowers comes in again at quarterback for the Vipers on a 2nd and 5. Smith on the handoff and good cut up field near a first down.
At some point they got to get Flowers going though, right? He's been in every play, and every play he's just handed the ball off. He's either got to pull it, Trestman's got to give him a designed run, get him out, do something to take advantage of his athleticism. Every play he's literally just handed the ball off. There you go.
There's another one. Smith, who's got a first down on a 3rd and short. Well, he came in listed as the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart for whatever that means, the first game of a new league. But there's a whole can of worms we haven't even opened up. In this league, one of the different rules, you can have a double pass. So you can throw the ball twice as long as the first pass is behind the line of scrimmage. And if they're ever going to do it, it hasn't happened yet in the league in the 3 games. Wouldn't that be the guy to try it with?
He's the guy, and it's just, there you go. Now he pulls it. This is the element he brings the offense. That we talked about. He had been handing it. Now all of a sudden that backside end, he comes down on the running back, and now he can get out on the outside. You see here, they're not going to block 55, right? He's the read guy. So when Flowers sees him go after the running back, that's his pull read, and he's going to take it and get on the edge. And that's the element that he brings to this team. You see him now. Murray's back in. They got to do more of that.
Saturday. Saturday, Saturday! Hurry, hurry, set!
Run it. Near side. Flowers has it with room. Flowers affecting the game now. That's what you talked about, Greg. So they're getting him involved in different ways. And finally some continuity. And you see the Tampa Bay sideline says, hurry up, let's go.
Yep, and you talked about it before on the double pass. My gut is it's going to come off some of those jet sweeps. That was under center, but a lot of times you see the jet sweeps in the gun where they kind of do that little shovel pop pass. With a guy like Flowers, he's still an active quarterback who also now is a threat on the outside to run. You see him now having back at more of a traditional quarterback position. He's giving them a little energy here offensively.
A little juice, and Smith on the carry, and really, if you're the Guardians, how do you prepare for it? I mean, it's a little different element to this game plan.
Well, it's 2 entirely different systems. When Aaron Murray's in there, it's a spot passer. He's going to be at a certain position. Run game's going to be more traditional. And then all of a sudden, one substitution, Flower comes in, and now all of a sudden you're based on your RPO, your zone read. It's like guarding 2 completely different offenses, and you can see the Guardians are really struggling with it right now.
Flowers swarmed, and amazing just to get a couple yards, because that should have been a loss, as A.J. Hendy, the safety, in on the tackle, and that will bring up a 3rd and short. It's funny.
So they're both in the game now, Kev. So we got Flowers and Murray now both in the game at the same time. It's only the 2nd time we've seen it, other than on the jet sweep he ran a few plays earlier. Let's see if they ride his hot hand and keep him involved in this offense.
They're going to move Flowers to the bottom of your screen as a wideout.
He's going to go in motion. Yep.
Hurry, hurry!
Fake it to him, coming back to the near side. Patrick has a couple of good blocks, and he's got a 1st and goal. So even though Flowers didn't get it, he affected the whole play.
Exactly right. So they sent him in motion. You can kind of see from his alignment he was going to go in motion across the field. It's that same jet sweep motion they gave to him before, but now they pin, they pull both offensive linemen, get him out in front, and Patrick, big body there, gets behind his lineman. Now you can see Trestman starting to get creative, start letting his guys play to their strengths. This is, I think, is a little more obviously the offense that he envisioned, and a lot of that has to do with them getting Flowers involved.
And we have an injury, and that's why things are stopped momentarily. Drayvon Askew-Henry, the nickel cornerbacks for the Guardians, was slow to get up, and now he's jogging on his own time, and that slows up Tampa Bay, at least initially. So not only is it the injection of Flowers into the offense, but there's some tempo here. And it's funny, Greg, because you look at it, the Vipers have now actually outgained the Guardians 274 to 199. It just hasn't felt like it because they've had the big turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers are killer. This drive is good.
Good gorilla.
Good gorilla.
Hey, you did it. Good gorilla.
I think everyone knows he's giving the ball right now to Patrick. I think he just turned around and said, "You're getting it."
Yeah, here is Patrick, and he gets smoked.
I don't think that's how Trestman drew that play up.
I think that was actually called bad gorilla.
Yeah,
that did not work.
I don't think when they drew it up, he's going to turn around and tell the running back, "You're getting it." Listen.
Saturday. Hurry.
Yeah, it was earlier in the call. He said, good gorilla. You're getting it. You're getting it.
Second and goal. Murray to throw. Has time. Looking for something to get open. Back at the end. Knocked away. Beauty of a play by A.J. Hendy. That was a touchdown if he didn't get it.
He's got Tolliver. It's a great play action. Typically in this part of the field, you go play action, you throw it to the front side. They brought Tolliver all the way across the field. He's got him. He doesn't get quite enough on the ball to get it over, but oh man, what a great play there by Hendy. Hendy has really now showed up getting his hands on two ball. His deflection at the end of the first half led to the Jones pick, and now again he just saved a touchdown.
They go two tight ends. They keep Flowers out of the game on third and goal.
Hurry.
Murray looking left, throwing left. Knocked away at the line of scrimmage. DeJuan Hines got his hands on it, and it's fourth and goal.
Hey, did you get open?
And are they really going to kick here? Wow.
Down 17. Maybe he just feels from a confidence perspective, just get some points. They've really been, obviously been shut out the entire game. This is interesting with the new point after attempts. It's not really a 3-score game like in the conventional sense, being 17. You can get 9 and 8, but they're going to try to get this to a 14-point deficit.
So here is a 23-yard field goal. It's up and good. And a long drive by the Vipers, but they settle for the field goal to at least get them on the board here in the third with a minute to go. Still the Guardians in front. So you look at this a lot of different ways. Finally, the Vipers had a nice drive. 16 plays, though, and they settled for 3. And the choice was interesting simply for this reason, Greg. You pointed it out, and you were correct. Because of the rules, it still was at 17-0, a 2-possession game. So I don't know exactly what the field goal got you there.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that Trestman, is just saying, let's get on the board, right? We've been shut out all this time, maybe just from a human nature perspective to say, let's get our confidence and have something. But, with the ability to go for 9 and then get 8, this is still only needing 2 touchdowns if you're able to get those conversions. But he took the conservative approach, put the 3 points on the board. Now they're down a more traditional number, in football, obviously being 14.
No, fair point. And it's at least they're on the board after struggling so much here today. Saturday, the Super Middleweight Championship is on Fox. Undefeated Caleb Sweet Hands Plant defends his title against KO King Vincent Feigenboots. All the hard-hitting action begins at 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And we get a whistle.
think they forgot to take the kicking tee off the field.
Well, you know, there's only the kicker by his lonesome all the way back there, so it's kind of like he's isolated.
It's week 1 for everybody, even the kicker, even the equipment guy.
Well, these things happen.
4 down, Mike 45, Mike 45. East. Set. 180. 20 hunt.
Here's McGloin on the give, and they're going to run it to Darius Victor. Hard running for 4 yards for Victor. His 5th carry of the day, up to 32 yards on the ground. And the final seconds of this third quarter.
Let's go. Gun 8, slot wide, W half wide. 58, Dallas Snake. Ready? Dallas Snake. 4 down, Mike 41.
So the reason he's saying 4 down is because you see how there's only not all 4 defensive linemen have their hand on the ground. So he's letting the offensive lineman know, say, hey, even though that guy's in a 2-point stance, he might be a linebacker. We're going to treat him as a down lineman as far as our protection is concerned.
Try to get it to Joe Horn. It's incomplete. Bring him a 3rd down and 6. Boy, would the Vipers like to get off the field on 3 and out here.
Be curious, does Glanville dial up some pressure? 3rd and 6. You've kind of, regained a little bit of, your place in this game. Your offense just went on a great drive. Does he dial up or does he play conservative and say, all right, we're going to sit and drive? All right.
Well, he'll have the quarter break to make that call. Usually he's a blitzing man. We'll see what Jerry Glanville pulls out. The Guardians up in this one, 17-3. We go to the 4th from East Rutherford. We start the 4th quarter at 17-3 New York in front of Tampa Bay, and we welcome in the head coach of the Vipers, Mark Trestman. And Mark, fascinating. We had a great conversation yesterday about some coaching philosophies in this league. We were just talking about it. Take us through your decision making there. It is a 2-score game. You decide to kick a field goal after your long drive. So the thought process for you on making that decision.
Yeah, well, it is a 2-score game, and we are moving the football. We haven't finished drives today. We've hurt ourselves at least a couple of times with turnovers as we move the ball inside. So, we feel comfortable we can move the ball, and we're going to get maybe 3 or 4 more opportunities to make this game close.
No doubt. We'll get one more for you after this play. So
okay, I'm going to go to offense here in a minute, I hope.
that would help. Here's McGloin with pressure. Needs his defense to step up. Victor breaks the tackle. Nice play from Victor. He's got a 1st down.
I know you were hoping to get off with us here and get the ball back, but Coach, while we have you, talk to us about the decision last drive. The big difference was getting Quentin Flowers involved, not only at the quarterback position. He took a couple jet sweeps, then on the 3rd down conversion, faking him the jet. He seemed to really inject a lot of life into the offense. Talk to us about the decision to get him more involved.
Oh no, we had him from the start. We just didn't have enough plays early to get him going. So he's been part of this game plan, and it came at a good time.
Mark, appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way.
You bet, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Here's McGloin on the fake. Steps in, fires, just knocked away, and now a late penalty flag. Pearson, the intended receiver. And let's see what this is.
That's all day.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
It's on Micah Hanneman, who had the coverage.
Yeah, I think they meant 20.
Yep.
I think it's down here. I think it's number 20, Tavares McFadden. I don't know. He maybe grabbed a little bit of Pearson's jersey. I thought he was in good spot. The ref obviously thought that he restricted the receiver on the slant, but yeah, I think that penalty was on McFadden. Tough call there, but it's not easy playing defense nowadays.
Omaha.
Victor belted. He's going to lose yardage. By the way, how wild is it to talk to the head coach in the 4th quarter of a football game?
Isn't that awesome?
Man,
we're up here wondering, thinking to ourselves about, game management, decision making. We don't even have to wonder. We can just ask the guy making the decisions in real time. And just another one of the awesome, different things they've implemented in this league that have really, really improved the quality of, viewing it and what it's like for a viewer at home. It's a pretty interesting insight for sure.
Chip. 180.
2nd and long. Blitz coming. McGloin stands in. Firing deep down the field. He's got a man. It's incomplete. It was Pearson who was there. Had his hands on it. Jalen Collins on the coverage.
Yeah, he just underthrew it. He didn't get enough out there. Pearson had him beat. he was over the top. He just runs a big, deep post, and you see him. He's lined up out wide here. You know, the corner turns. Collins, he just doesn't get it out there. Yeah. Collins is beat. He turns his butt inside, across his face. If he puts that ball, they always say the landmark there is to throw that ball into the front side hash. You can see the ball landed a little wide and short. That's a ball that McGloin wishes he had back. That's got to be a touchdown.
Pearson has toasted his man a couple times today, and the throws have been a little short. 3rd and long. It's only a 3-man rush, and that should have been a first down. Joe Horn was the man who got his hands on it, couldn't turn around and grab it, and wasted opportunities for New York.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a basic 2-man concept. Horn is on the inside, the outside receiver, you can't see him off the screen. He just runs a clear out, brings the corner with him. The inside receiver just runs a square out, and ball's a little behind him, but at this level, somebody like Joe Horn, that's got to be a catch. Convert that 3rd down for your quarterback. That's a tough failed conversion there.
Bottom line is a Vipers defense seemingly getting off the field, and all kinds of pressure, nearly blocked that one. Dye calls a fair catch inside the 10. So the Vipers have worked hard against this Guardians defense. They got more work to do because they're down 14 points, 12:09 to play.
We finally got some competition. It's time to go. It's time to go. Tampa Vipers. Let's.
Oh, boy. That's all right. That's all right there. Like that. I love it, baby. Let's go. Told you. Go. Get in there. Get in there.
Hey, I had shown that 37-inch vertical just in. You heard me? Let's get it.
You know, Tim Cook got a little help on the vertical, I think.
Yeah, he did.
All right, so the Guardians 17, the Vipers 3. Vipers football, obviously, work to do. 12:09 to play in the game. It's Murray on the fake. Pressure in his face, and he completes it. Truesdell fumbled the football. Is picked up by New York with room to run. Summers working his way to the end zone. Hit near the goal line as he in. Touchdown.
The second time we've seen Truesdell have a ball in his hands. The first one earlier in the game got overturned. I don't think that one's going to get overturned. I think that's a catch, fumble, scoop and score there by Summers. Little RPO, he's play action, he's wide open. Yeah, that's a clear fumble. He caught that ball, turned, and tried to make a play up the field. Great job there by Hines, the linebacker, to punch that out from behind.
Well, I agree with you. Now let's see if he actually got in. That ball touched the goal line. Ruling on the field was touchdown.
It's hard to see. He looked short in real time. It looked like the offensive lineman knocked him back.
The previous play is under further review.
Well, why don't we listen in to Robert Lou?
Confirm the ruling on the field first, please.
Ruling on the field was a catch and a fumble. Recovered by the defense. Advance for a score. Results of the play is a touchdown for New York.
Okay. What we're looking at here is whether it's a completed catch. Okay.
Copy that.
Give me 1 second here. 1, 2. Ball's loose before 3. Completed.
We're going to have either, I have first down, so either going to be 2nd and 10 or first. We got to look at two things.
This is pretty tough. Football move or not. Two. Okay.
We're good. Take all the time you need. No worries.
All right. We don't have enough here, so we're going to stand. Okay.
So the next thing you want to look at is the score. Can you confirm the score?
Yeah. Hold on.
Thank you.
Anything from the backside on the score?
I know, that's why I'm going to make sure. You're on the backside. Robin's looking right at the ball.
50.
So. Can you see the ball?
No other angles? Okay. We don't have the ball. We're going to have to stand on this one also. Okay. So just to confirm, we're going to stand off the ruling on the field.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Thank you.
For both. Okay.
Where does he want to go? From the 1? Okay. After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And so, the 27-yard fumble return touchdown from Jamar Summers out of Orange, New Jersey, just down the road here from MetLife Stadium. He makes a splash play, and he's holding on to that thing tight. And you can see Jenny Taft is caught up with Jamar. We'll get down to her just after this play. Going for 1 point on the conversion. They'll run it. Vincent going to come up short. And before we get down to Jenny, you know, we saw the replay booth with Robert Lou. Head of officiating for the XFL is Dean Blandino. Dean, just curious your take. Good to see if you agree with how that all played out.
Yeah, I did. Two close aspects. You've got to prioritize. You start with the catch fumble, and then you go to the goal line. And it was great to listen to Robert work through the process. And there was one point where on the catch fumble, he let out a deep sigh and was like, boy, this is close. And that usually tells you that you really need to stay with the call on the field. Looked like the receiver had control, took 2 steps, turned upfield, and then you have that second part at the goal line. Again, not enough to change, and it was really great to just see the process at work.
Hey, Dean, real quick, on that play, the receiver did not need the 3rd step because he turned upfield. That's considered the football move, correct?
Correct. Remember, we're under 1 foot, not the NFL rule. So if he has a body part down and he has control and the time to perform an act common to the game, that could be turning upfield, tucking it away, taking an additional step, which would be the 2nd step. It all completes the process.
Dean, great stuff. Appreciate that. And I agree. It's so cool to listen into the thought process because there's no question you understand exactly what's being looked at. It's such a cool aspect of this league. And now the kickoff. If it goes out of bounds, it's at the 45. And they're going to take it deep. Mac Brown, penalty flag on the play. We'll sort that out. Now we go down to the sidelines with Jenny and the hero. Jenny?
Jamar, I know you're going in. There was no doubt you got in. Just quick. Okay, you gotta go. Kevin, I tried. We were with him, but let me just tell you what he told me. He said, I had no doubt I was in there. And keep in mind, this is a Jersey kid. So celebrating with these fans, it means so much to him.
Jenny,
He'll be back for more.
I think Jenny just, I just say test it out. Go on the field with him and ask him. I mean, why not? Who says no, right? I mean, take a shot.
Who's going to stop you?
Listen, Jenny is a hockey player at heart. She could take it. I'm no question. I'm not worried about her toughness. That is scary. 23-3. What a picture.
Is he eating cheese? What is he eating? Oh, there you go. That's what I thought. Looked like he was flopping cheese and then he ate it. That got weird.
Anyway.
Hurry, set.
Here are the Vipers now after taking that uppercut on the fumble return, and they're going to try to run the ball to Patrick, and he goes nowhere. Garrett Dooley.
You brought it up before the last play. I mean, obviously, we didn't anticipate a fumble for a touchdown, but the one drive where they've been able to put points up there at the 3rd quarter, the long drive, Flowers was really at the center of the offense, and ever since that, the last 2 possessions, he's kind of just standing off to the side on the sideline. I'm not sure if Trestman just feels like this is more of a pass situation, being down by 20. But I think that's something interesting to follow here.
Murray. Over the middle, incomplete. Looked like Patrick went right through his hands. And another 3rd and long. On 3rd down, they're actually 6 of 11 today, which is a good percentage, but they've been in 3rd and long quite a bit.
They have, and aside from the drive that ended with the field goal, they've just been so erratic. They've been so up and down. You heard Trestman say, we're moving the ball okay. The turnovers have been huge. They got to find some rhythm here and settle in. This game's getting away from them here in the 4th quarter.
3rd and long. Murray over the middle and a broken tackle.
It's Smith, and it's going to be short, 4th down. Imagine you'd have to go for it here.
Yeah, you have to go for it here. I think the special teams coach is wrestling with his guys. They all went running out there, and he about tackled them. Yeah, this is clearly a 4-down territory. You're down 20, 10 minutes to go. They got to score here.
You know, an injury to the Guardians. Andrew Soro, safety's had a nice game today. He's got an interception in the end zone. Out of Florida Atlantic. Actually spent the preseason this year with the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. And now here in the XFL, so they work on Soro. Hopefully he's okay.
Read a piece on Soro where he talked about the 2 guys he emulates his game after. 2 guys obviously are fond to me down at the University of Miami. Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, those are kind of the guys he models himself. It's nice to see him run off the field. As you said, he's had a huge impact on this game. And if you're going to model 2 safeties, those are 2 pretty good guys to follow.
Incredible how many young safeties, or it doesn't matter the age, but just safeties in general. Sean Taylor was their idol, right? I mean, the late Sean Taylor.
He was a teammate of mine in Miami, still the best football player I've ever seen in person. Against, as an opponent or a teammate. Just a tragic situation with Sean.
4th down. Vipers need it. Murray somehow completes it. A back shoulder by Williams, and he rumbles his way down inside the 20. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. And Williams has a big gain and a 1st down.
Drayvon Askew Henry has to be looking and saying, what else more can I do? He undercuts this route so much that the ball actually goes behind him, and Williams is able to complete it. That's great coverage. He jumps the route. I don't know if Murray meant to throw it behind the defender or not, but either way, what a huge 4th down conversion and to put themselves inside the 20.
Change of momentum, 44 yards as Flowers comes back in the game at quarterback.
Here we go, right?
And so a 1st down and 10. With 9:43 to go in the game. The clock stopped. Is there something going on in the end zone? I didn't see if there was somebody injured. No, there's someone unfortunately on the field. Silly. For next weekend's XFL action, download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play the XFL game for free for a chance to win up to $10,000. Flowers in the game at quarterback. Get the stuff on the field all cleaned up, and they're going to do a little jet sweep to Tolliver. Big Jalen Tolliver gets inside the 20 and gets down to the 16. He's got a 5-yard run, and the way the clock is in this game, the clock is running now, but if you could get it a little closer, remember it'll stop inside 2 minutes. They do have 2 timeouts left, but obviously they need a score here.
Yeah, this is critical, and I like the fact now that Trestman has Flowers back in. Dual threat quarterbacks in the red zone are especially efficient and effective. See if they're going to, quarterback draw.
And it's a beauty. Wow, good cut and a 1st down inside the 10. It's a 1st and goal.
So those draws are actually reads. So if he has a box count where he doesn't like the amount of defenders in the box, he can actually throw the ball out here wide to 29 Patrick. And if he likes the box count, he can come out, pump Patrick the ball, and then it just turns in. So the O-line's blocking for the draw. The receivers in the back are playing for the swing screen, and then he has to make the decision based on what he thinks is the best number count.
8.5 to go. 1st and goal. They're going to run it to Smith and make something out of nothing. He's going to pick up 3 yards as the clock continues to roll. Down by 20. Now remember, with the conversion rules in this game, there's some different ways to look at this. It's a 20-point game with the ability to go to 1, 2, or 3 for the point after touchdown.
When we talked to Trestman, he made such a point about they really wanted to just go for 1, but I don't know if in this situation he can afford to do that. I'm hoping that they score so we can kind of get insight into how he's going to handle this situation.
Well, it's still, and this is going to be stop shy. It's still a 3-score situation, yep. But the kicker is, instead of 3 touchdowns, you can get a
2 touchdown, the conversions, and a field goal.
Right, exactly. But I think, Greg, what is interesting, right, is that, you know, remember, they went for the field goal after that 16-play drive. So at the time, I think they just wanted to get on the board. But that's something now that maybe you look back on.
Yeah, I think the conservative nature now is kind of starting to slowly drip, you know, settle away here. I don't think they have the patience. You know, we're approaching 7 minutes here in the fourth quarter. The ability to play it by the book and play the safe route, I think, has kind of left. They got to go for, they got 2 down territory here. They got to go for it if they don't convert here on 3rd down for the score. They can't settle with anything other than a touchdown.
It is 3rd and goal. It is Murray back in the game at quarterback. He's pressured. He's in trouble. He is sacked. This Guardians pass rush has done a number all day on the Vipers, and they get Murray down, and now a 4th and goal.
Every 3rd down, even if Flowers is in prior, they always take him out. I don't know if they don't feel like he's had the reps to run, but you can just see the Guardians, they only rush, you know, they only rush 5. They got a lot of guys dropping into coverage. They zoned it out. There's nowhere for Murray to go with the ball. And unlike Flowers, he doesn't have that ability to make a play, to improvise. I've always liked running quarterbacks down in this area. I wish Flowers was on the field here.
4th and goal. Murray looking, firing, and it's incomplete. And the Guardians make a stand, and they'll take control of the football.
Yeah.
Just a sigh.
I don't know. I thought they had something brewing there. Flowers again came in.
Instead, they come up short.
Yep.
Three trips in the red zone by the Vipers today, and they've got a field goal to show for it. That's it. And of course, at the end, you were sighing because you thought that Quentin Flowers right there should have been in the game.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a deep breath. But, you know, I just felt he came in. They got the big conversion on 4th down to Williams, and then he comes in, a nice jet sweep for a good gain. Then he runs the quarterback draw, and then, you know, they take him out, and they got super conservative again. And once again, as you said, 3 possessions in the red zone, 3 points.
Guardians get the hold, and now they'll run the ball. They're going to run clock to Cook. And now Jenny, very patient down the sideline, has once again corralled Jamar Summers, who had the touchdown.
Well, Jamar's the nice one for actually agreeing to chat with me after I almost stopped him from getting back in the action. You had your moment, Jamar, and I want to let you tell me about it and just the excitement of being back playing in this league. You're a UConn kid. What is it like to be back out there?
You know what I mean? It's fun. At the end of the day, it's just football. And anytime you got 11 guys out there, you know what I mean, with the same set, with the same mindset, the same goal, you know what I mean, something great can inspire from that.
You can feel the chemistry among this defense. Why is it clicking?
We had fun down there in Houston, you know what I mean? We went down there in Houston, had a training camp out there, got a good bond, got a good feel for the defense, got an understanding of the concepts. And you know what I mean? For the most part, we just fly around, do what we do.
All right, it's been fun to watch. I'm going to let you enjoy this, and I won't interrupt you again.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Both.
Thank you.
Jenny, thanks. Jamar being a great sport, too. I mean, come on, he's loving life. He scored a touchdown, and as Jenny pointed out, he's got family and friends here. He's from Orange, New Jersey. It's just a stone's throw away from here down the Garden State Parkway. So it's got to be fun for him. Went to UConn, obviously.
Thank you.
We got Jersey guys on the field. We got Jersey guys in the booth. We're killing it.
Just
games in Jersey.
You know, it's always good to be. Always good for a little homecoming.
We've come a long way, KB. We've come a long way, buddy.
Even got your breakfast comp this morning. Or was that just paid for by you?
That was paid for by me. You didn't take out your wallet.
Ball start.
Nope.
Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
But I appreciate the effort. I mean, just what an outstanding teammate.
It's like the rookie dinner. You know, I'm like the rookie taking you out, taking the old seasoned pro.
So hold on.
Although I'm a seasoned pro here at this stadium.
I got the rookie dinner, and my choice was to take you to a diner. I should have like really exploited
New York
that.
Luncheonette. That's. I'm new to the game, man.
It was enjoyable.
New to the game.
Oh, you're a seasoned pro.
All of 3 broadcasts.
3rd and 6. Another handoff, and Victor is going to be knocked back for a loss of 1 with 4.5 to go. So the Vipers get a 3 and out. Guardians is happy to waste clock at this point. It is a 3-possession game.
You heard McGloin walk out. He said, we got to get that snap up. He wasn't thrilled about the conservative nature of those 3 plays, and then his center kind of left him out to dry there with a bad snap. Kind of a conservative approach by Gilbride. I don't blame him. This Vipers offense hasn't really shown you that 20 points in 4 minutes is something that they have in their bag. A punt here is not the end of the world.
Dye's going to let it bounce. Dye's had a couple curious decisions on the punt returns today. Seemed like it was potentially returnable, but instead Vipers will take over with 3:43 to go. Look, this Guardians defense has done a really nice job today because Tampa Bay's moved the ball great, but they can't capitalize. Here's one example.
Yeah, the red zone has been a problem. We started there with the first red zone attempt being a pick, and then here right before the half, Jones with the deflected interception. We had the fumble that was returned for a touchdown. Truesdale just couldn't hold on, and you know, they've just really struggled. They have moved the ball. I don't know if they've moved the ball as well as they think they have, but of course the turnovers have just been the Achilles heel right now for this Vipers team.
John Yarbrough, number 50, is the backup center. He has come in the game for Jordan McRae. Not sure if Jordan is hurt, if they're just making a switch there. As the Vipers, you know, I think at this point, a 3-score game, you almost just want to see something positive heading into next week, don't you? Yeah, but real quick, before we get into that, John Yarbrough, I saw him outside the hotel yesterday when we went over for production meeting, and he was actually a teammate of mine for a short time in Carolina, and he came up to me and he goes, and I knew he was the backup center, and he goes, hey, Greg, give me a shout out tomorrow. I'm on kickoff return. Well, John, I'm giving you a shout out. You are now at center, and hopefully you are the missing link that your offense needed to get you guys rolling. But I promised I'd give him a shout out. Little teammate love, nothing wrong with that. As Patrick has the carry. Look, even more love. He gets his own graphic. There you go.
Nice. He's going to be thrilled. He's going to be thrilled.
Maybe now he owes you breakfast.
A lot of guys owe me breakfast.
3rd and 2.
Starting with you.
There's plenty of time for payback. Flowers going to run it and get it. First down for Tampa Bay. I think what will be interesting this week is how the practice reps are divvied out at quarterback, don't you? I think if Trestman felt more comfortable, I think coming into the game, as you said earlier, Flowers was technically the 3rd-string quarterback. Their backup quarterback, Cornelius, I have a feeling he took more traditional quarterback reps. And if Trestman felt that Flowers was more ready to just run this offense in its entirety, I think we'll start seeing more of this as the season goes on, that he's not just coming in to be the run, change of pace. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting more actual reps in the passing game, especially for this Vipers offense moving forward. He's only thrown one pass. That was an incompletion, but he's clearly affected things when he's been on the field. And again, Murray's not even standing by Trestman. It doesn't look like he's coming back in any point here soon, which means he'll be back in on the next play. Well, not yet. We got a 2-minute warning here from East Rutherford. All Guardians in this XFL opener on Fox. Skycam today is brought to you by Roman. Great look on the field, and from our XFL on Fox crew all afternoon long. Week 1 of this new league. Boy, is it exciting to be here for this. Been a good start for the league in week 1, and the Guardians looking to win on their home turf. 17,634 in attendance here for the first one. Here's Flowers looking to air it out, throwing it deep to Williams. He's got the catch inside the 5. Oh, you wanted to see him throw the football. You got it. That was a beauty. And Williams hauls it in for 37 yards. There we go. I mean, I'm telling you, I think Flowers just really gives them an interesting dynamic. And I'll tell you, Daniel Williams, the guy that everyone, the unanimous, the consensus on him was he's the surprise at camp. Here he is with 125 yards, 6 catches. He not only is he the surprise of the camp, he's really been a completed catch to the 2-yard line. Timeout for an injury against the defense. He's really been this will be a charge timeout for New York. This is their first. You guys got all that? Just keep. I didn't know if he was going to stop. He's really been the lone bright spot really for this Vipers offense. He's had a good day. It's come kind of in a lackluster performance overall, but they got something to build off of here. I think Trestman will take some of the positives and try to build going into the next couple weeks. But what a great ball here. Flowers puts the ball out in front. Great job by Williams going up, competing for the ball, contested catch. Did they touch him? Did they rule him down? They ruled him down to the 2. Okay. By the way, the injured Guardian was Bryce Jones, the cornerback who was on that coverage. He had an interception earlier today. There is Jones. At least looks like good news that he's walking off all right. I mean, you think about this. The Vipers have 408 yards and they've got 3 points.
And I think when we talked to Trestman during earlier in the second half, we kind of alluded to that. Of course, the turnovers and whatnot, but he said we're moving the ball. We're doing some good things on offense. We just got to cut down on it. Of course, turnovers are going to be a big point of emphasis for them going forward. Red zone efficiency is going to be a huge point. This is their 4th red zone trip of the game. So far, they only have 3 points for the previous three times getting down here. We'll see how the 4th time goes, but there's always things to learn from the first game, and I think this Vipers offense has plenty.
I'm hitting that bit. Yep.
Give Smith. Good hard running, but he's stacked up inside the 2. And again, we're inside 2 minutes, so the clock stops on everything. And once the ball is spotted, it'll roll the play clock 5 seconds before the clock picks up again. Just one of those different rules. If you're watching at home, that's what's going on. And Flowers trying to keep it, run it, walk it in, and this play does not count. There's a penalty for it.
Set. I don't think they got set. You heard them clapping, trying to pick up the tempo to get lined up.
We both the same shot.
Correct. So we need to go to the team to make sure we. Yep.
So I think it's
okay.
So I think their conversation now is it a 10-second runoff, or would they rather take their timeout? If it's a pre-snap with the clock running, a pre-snap procedure penalty. I think that's what they're trying to sort out here. We'll see. Yep, so you see the ref running here to ask. See how this all gets
False
sorted.
start against the offense. Not all 11 players became set. By rule, a 10-second applies. We're waiting on confirmation first.
Yeah, you can see the official here at the bottom asking if they want to take a timeout or not. That would save the 10 seconds. Which I imagine they wouldn't mind losing 10 seconds with this much time, right?
Right. I agree.
Save the timeout. I don't think anybody knows.
Well, this is a long deliberation for a false start call, and I haven't seen a timeout taken off the board. I haven't seen 10 seconds run off just yet.
Hey!
I mean, at some point there's got to be a decision, right? It's a false start call.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah, they're still down here talking to Trestman.
Tampa Bay has elected to call a timeout to prevent the 10-second runoff.
So they'd rather save the 10 seconds, Kev, than keep the timeout. With a minute 42, is a minute 32 much different? I'm not sure, but that's what Trestman's decided. So you can see the left guard here, Foster. They called that, yeah, he's a little early. I couldn't tell if they called him for a false start, if they called that there was an illegal formation because not everybody was set. Not quite exactly sure what the ref officially said.
Well, it is 2nd and goal after moving back 5 yards and running hard is Smith. Kind of gets back to where he was. It'll be a 3rd and goal, and again the clock stops until the ball is spotted, and then the play clock goes down to 20. Play clock in this league only 25 seconds, so it speeds things up until the final 2 minutes of the half and at the end of the game. There you go. So the play clock starts, and the game clock will start right now. 3rd and goal. Flowers tucks it away, makes a move. Good tackle from behind. It's Wesley Sutton who came in, the backup safety. That was a touchdown, but not in Sutton's watch, and a 4th and goal.
Yeah, I thought he had Daniel Williams at the bottom of the screen. I thought maybe he was going to come down here at the bottom, but he didn't. He started to the top, And then I think he panicked and thought maybe he could run it in. He had one-on-one with the guy who's been the highlight of their offense. I think he could have just given him a chance, thrown him a jump ball. Maybe he's checking to that here. You see 81 here. He's got one-on-one coverage at the bottom of the screen. I'd give him a chance, but...
4th and goal. Flowers in trouble. Pressure coming. Flowers, down he goes.
Yeah, Kev, I don't know. He was doing a lot of checking. It was a loaded box. Obviously, you're going to have to throw it, but the matchup was at the bottom with Williams. He had one-on-one press coverage, no safety over the top. He looked up top to the 2 receivers, and, you know, they got 3 guys over 2, guys running into each other. In that case, just go back to the guy that's gotten here. Look, he's got one-on-one. Williams doesn't even run a route. I'm not sure anybody really knew what they were doing there. But to me, that's the matchup. If I'm Trestman, I get down there, you know, I'm throwing that ball to 81 Williams and letting him make a play like he has the whole game. Just another really poorly executed red zone possession by this Vipers offense. That's something they really got to build on.
You know, in a way, it's the story of the game, though, right, Craig? I mean, the defense for the Guardians, even though the Vipers have wasted some opportunities, the defense of the Guardians has stood up. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 of them in the end zone. They've made plays when it's counted, and they've denied them all day long, and now they will just run out the clock. And go to 1-0 as they start their first game in franchise history with a win. And really, a lot of good things for them. And Kevin Gilbride, who had been out of coaching since 2013, as the last year he was the offensive coordinator for the Giants, he said, you know, I want to spend time with my grandkids, and I miss my family. And, you know, they got a little older. I got some of that time, and the opportunity presented itself. And now he's back, and he's welcomed back with a victory. Standings always look good when you're 1-0, right? It always feels good.
No better feeling than getting the first one under your belt. And like you said about Gilbride, this has to feel great. He's got a lot of great memories here in New York, but it didn't end so hot for him, right? He was kind of run out after a great run as the offensive coordinator here in New York for the Giants. Things didn't end in a great manner considering he had led them to 2, you know, Super Bowl victories, and I'm sure this felt good, getting back in this stadium, in this city, and showing the people in New York and their fan base that he's a great coach.
It's pretty cool that he was last year at the NFL in this stadium, and now he's back in this stadium, and he's got a victory in his first game as a head coach in the XFL. That will do it. 23-3. The Guardians take care of the Vipers here this afternoon. Matt McGloin did a nice job today at quarterback. 15 of 29, 182 yards, a touchdown pass, and a touchdown run. That was on the opening drive. Speaking of Matt McGloin, Jenny Taft has caught up with him.
Well, Matt, it always feels good to be 1-0 at home. And considering the hype around the start of the XFL, what did you learn about your team in this win today?
Well, most importantly, like you said, is winning. A lot of good and a lot of things we need to improve on. But there were flashes out there of how impressive and how good this team can be, especially offensively. Defense, what can I say, creating turnovers the way they did really propelled us into winning this football game.
I know it's important for you to be here in front of your family. Your son is here watching. Yeah. Well, what kind of moment is that for you in your career and being a part of this?
It was completely different feelings running on that tunnel, running out here and just taking a look around. You know, it was a special moment, a lot of energy, again, a lot of emotion. So very exciting day. I'm glad we can get this win for Coach Gilbride and his return to MetLife.
All right, we're excited to watch all year.
All right,
thanks
you so much.
Matt, Jenny, thanks. By the way, I love that. McGloin saying, hey, Coach Gilbride back at MetLife. How cool is that for him to recognize that? Guardians, McGloin played well. The defense was exceptional, and the New York Guardians are 1-0. Back after this. Welcome back to the Progressive postgame show here at the Meadowlands, where the New York Guardians in week 1 of the XFL on Fox get a win at home, 23-3 over the Tampa Bay Vipers. I'd like to thank you all for watching this afternoon. And the Guardians today, it was their day. Defense did their job, and they get a rousing win. For Greg Olson and Jenny Taft, our entire XFL on Fox crew, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Once again, Guardians win it 23-3. We will see you next week from Houston. Coming up next on Fox, PBA Bowling, Tournament of Champions. We'll see you.